That's how you're gonna act if you were in a scene.
Oh, you didn't give me any dialogue, so I was just. Going
hoping
off of you.
What do you mean? I was hoping you'd break off into something. Action.
I didn't know that your father had died in a severe car crash.
That's what you would say to the person? So if a person's father died,
I was trying to stir up drama in like the beginning of the shoot.
I like that, but it's so funny to be like, I'm so sorry you were raped so brutally in your home. And it's like,
whoa.
It's
like the first rule of improv is to leave it open and let them yes and. I just like told the whole story.
You were like, hey, your dad severely got into a car crash. And I am letting you know about it right now as we're talking. Hi, I'm Samantha.
Hi, I'm Samantha.
Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Bad News Sam. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet me.
Nice to meet you.
No, it's bad to meet me. I'm Bad News Sam.
Oh, yeah, you're Bad News Sam. Mm-hmm. That'd be a pretty good movie.
Bad News Sam.
Because you've never seen Bad News Bears?
I've never seen that.
You heard of it?
I've heard of it. It's a baseball movie?
It is.
It is?
It is technically about baseball. I wouldn't say that that's the crux of it, but
I thought that I saw in the ads that they were playing baseball.
They are playing baseball, but you know sometimes there's a sports movie
there's a deeper meaning.
Remember the Titans? I wouldn't necessarily just say it's a football movie.
I would say it's a football movie.
There's some other underlying tones there that are pretty heavy.
There are some pretty heavy underlying tones, but the most important thing is it's about football, right?
Would you say Rudy is a football movie?
Yes.
That's a movie about football.
It's a movie about football.
Really? Even Rudy? You think Rudy's about football?
Hey, if it's got a sport in it, it's about the sport.
Okay, so I love it. It was like, is Friday Night Lights a football movie? And you were like, no, that's about high school.
That is about high school.
No, that is about... Wait, is Varsity Blues about football?
No, that is about, hoes being hoes.
That is about hoes. And the improbability of whipped cream.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of a sports movie that I feel like isn't really about sports.
Like when you watch it, like that was not about the sports.
Oh, you know what's a sports movie that's not about sports?
You're going to say something stupid.
The Blind Side.
Actually, that wasn't stupid. That's not about sports. That is not about sports.
But it's still a sports movie.
You know how much The Blind Side's about sports? The Blind Side is as much about sports as radio is about sports.
The Blind Side is more about getting into college as a football player than it is about sports itself. They spend way more. There's way
definitely
more
not
shots.
About getting into college.
There's not, but there's way more shots in the movie of him going to colleges and going through that process than there are of him actually playing football.
I like how you said that. It's like, well, if we're being honest, the movie has nothing about him at all. It's about Sandra Bullock.
It's really about Sandra Bullock.
It's about a white woman and her struggles taking in a black child.
It's a hard time sometimes.
That's like, if we're being honest, that's what that movie's about.
Yeah, it's pretty much my life story.
Yeah, true. I would say The Blind Side and radio are not about the sports.
I've never seen radio. I cannot attest.
What do you mean you never saw radio? I did it on the podcast.
With me?
I did it with Hassan. You didn't watch it with me that morning?
No.
Do you know what it's about?
He's retarded, right?
Why are you whispering?
I don't know, because sometimes I think
things about... Because if you whisper it, then you won't get canceled?
No,
they'll be like, oh, she
I'm not saying I'm going to
get
canceled. It's just, I'm more embarrassed by what people find out I think a movie's about than what it, you know what I mean?
Than being canceled.
Exactly. I mean, I don't care if I'm canceled.
But don't let me look stupid.
Don't let me look stupid in front of the beaners.
Cancel's one thing. Me looking like an idiot? I don't think so. No, Samantha. It's not about a retarded gentleman.
He's not retarded?
Yes, he is. But it's about a community in a town and a white man learning he can love a retarded black son.
Huh. Oh, you know what? I think I did listen to this actual episode.
I think you did too.
Because he has like you were there. I don't think I watched the movie.
He has a what?
He has like a shopping cart.
Well, that's from the trailer.
Oh, okay.
That's the famous shot. You know, it's him pushing it down like a railroad track. Guys, just go watch the radio episode like Sam didn't do, apparently.
No, I watched the episode. I didn't watch the actual movie.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I guess that's how you see every movie now. You don't watch movies anymore.
I'm not allowed to watch movies anymore.
No, we need more episodes.
We've had a discussion about it.
Well, this is the thing, because we have all the episodes. We have like 300, 400, right, on our list. But the problem is...
But what happens after that?
What happens after that? So it's like, all right, because it's like, oh, that's forever. Like, because that's how time does feel. Like, oh, that's forever from now. And then I'll be looking at the list one day, and it'll be like 3 movies left on it, and I'll be like, oh, shit. So, this is the problem.
I mean, when movies come out, we go, okay, that's a movie you can watch for the episode.
Or it's a movie where it's like, let's both go see this because this is too big of a deal.
Yeah, if it's like an Avengers movie,
sorry. You're gonna have to wait until we meet some loser who hasn't seen Infinity War. Mm-hmm. But that's hard.
It's hard to find.
It's hard to find. It's hard to find somebody that hasn't seen like Dark Knight and shit. But I'll find them. They're out there.
They exist.
They exist. I'll find them. Don't message me either going, Deric, I haven't seen it. I'm not talking about you, dude, in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
In Cheyenne, Wyoming.
I'm talking about
a lot of
like,
people
a
seem
comedian.
to think they would have great chemistry with you.
I
I've
know,
seen that in
people
some of
think
the comments.
And it's like, I don't know if you guys have watched the episode. I don't want you to say anything. I want you to sit there and ingest the movie.
Yeah, you're supposed to be a blank slate. You know how like in a television series, there's always a character you think is really boring and lame, but really it's just supposed to be you. That's what you're supposed to be in this.
You mean the straight man?
I guess you could say that. I'm talking about series where you really hate the character. Like in
Oh, you mean like still a lead, like a Joffrey?
Yeah, no. Take have you ever seen How I Met Your Mother?
No, but who? I know
Okay, Ted Mosby, he sucks.
He's the straight man, right?
He's the straight man, I guess, but everyone else around him is awesome, and he sucks, and he's boring.
But the world revolves around him.
Yeah.
That's the straight. That's the.
Yeah, but there's straight men who are good at it that you like.
Like Eric Foreman.
You like Eric Foreman.
But you know what I'm saying is the world revolves around Eric.
The world revolves around Ted Mosby, but he's boring. So you're supposed to put yourself on Ted Mosby, and that's why they leave him boring so that you can be boring if you are. Same with like Corey in Boy Meets World. What a loser.
Yeah,
but that's who we all are.
But
we all are that loser.
That's why Eric Foreman's great is because it's the lead man that you're like, yeah, I would be that guy.
That's who you want to be.
Because out of everyone in the cast, that's the guy you most likely want to be. Because nobody really wants to be Hyde. Nobody really wants to be Kelso. Nobody really wants to be Fez.
Who doesn't want to be Kelso?
Nobody really wants to be
Kelso hooks up with all the best girls.
Yeah, but what it's like would I rather have a really big penis or just 1 foot? Like if I have a really big penis, I have 1 foot, but if I have a regular size penis, I have no feet. It's like if I'm Kelso, I get all the girls, but I am retarded. Or I can get some girls and not be retarded.
But Eric Foreman only gets one girl.
I'm not talking about Hyde gets girls.
Oh yeah, but Hyde's not that guy. Who doesn't want to be Hyde either? All these people
I don't want to be Hyde because Hyde is always in. Hyde's also kind of, if you rewatch it, Hyde's stupid. Hyde does a lot of dumb, like, Hyde is the reason they get in trouble a lot.
And Hyde is actually a rapist.
And don't get me started on what that guy does off camera.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if Bill Cosby's in jail, Hyde needs to be murdered.
Yo, that guy needs to be, like, on death row for sure.
Because I've said it a bunch. Did Bill Cosby rape? Yes. Are there levels to rape? I hate to say it, but yes. Because Bill Cosby's rape is not as bad. You're asleep.
Yes, but see now you've taken out my whole free will of even like escape. Like at least Hyde's, it's like you're not asleep and he's forcefully raping you, but I have like my brain to be like, get me out of this.
Yeah, but if you don't get out, you were like, man, I wanted to get out that whole time and I didn't. If you wake up like that, you're just like, did Bill Cosby? You don't even know until you leave and this the next day and you're like,
Bill Cosby's more like a Thanos type rapist.
Yeah, it's like
it's not for it's for the greater good.
It's for the greater good. It's for the greater good. And it's really about like, you know, collecting infinity stones. It's not just rape.
Whereas Hyde is more like, like the Joker raping you. Like, it's like,
the Joker
doing
would
this
never
for
even
my
do that.
own joy.
This is how you know the Joker would never stoop that low.
No, the Joker would never rape.
The Joker would never rape. He'd murder you.
Well, also the rape is is an extremely personal thing to do. The Joker is about chaos. It's impersonal. It doesn't have anything to do with
It's only personal to him about the Batman, and he doesn't want to. I mean, he might rape Batman.
He might rape Batman.
Batman is the only person I think Joker's sexually attracted to.
Oh, for sure.
If we're going there,
yes.
If we're going to go there with it, but no, I don't think. Actually, a lot of the greatest villains I don't see as Killmonger's a rapist.
Oh yeah, Killmonger. 100%.
Any villain where the villain has like severe anger issues.
Oh, anger.
Thanos doesn't have anger issues. Thanos is calm.
Yeah, that's why.
Joker doesn't have anger issues.
Yeah.
You don't see them explode because something didn't go their way.
What about like someone who's not quite all bad, like a Loki?
Yeah, he's a rapist.
He's a rapist.
Have you seen his face?
I mean, yeah.
Out of the Avengers, who do you think's a rapist?
Tony Stark.
Damn, me too. Doctor Strange. No, Doctor Strange is kind of a dick too.
Nah, Doctor Strange, you would think he might be like if we were gonna start canceling Avengers.
Yeah, we're canceling them right now for rape.
Tony would go down first, and then Doctor Strange would go down in the aftermath because like the cancel culture would be like, hey, but he like slept with a girl who was 19 when she was.
Iron Man would be D'Elia and Callan would be Strange.
Yeah,
kind of. It's like you're going down, and this other guy. Well, you're kind of hang out with him, so you're going down a little bit too.
Yeah, you're going down too,
it's
and you kind of act like him.
You guys kind of have the same vibe.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about it. D'Elia's back.
I know. I'm happy for him that he's making moves.
Me too. He's coming back as a dad. I like that.
I
He's
like
coming
that.
back as a nice guy dad. I do fuck with that.
I love it, a good redemption story, because it's interesting, because it's we all some people look at him as like, oh, he was taking advantage of young women, and some people look at it like, oh, he was like using his power against
he's
them,
a pedophile.
and he's a pedophile. And it's, I think it's, he did a good job with his confessional. I felt like
he fucked up.
He fucked up.
He should have admitted that he talked to young girls. I thought. I mean,
felt like
that's
he should
me
have said that.
Nitpicking maybe, but I think you should admit that what the real problem. The problem isn't that you had sex with a bunch of women. That's no one's problem. The problem is the age.
The problem is the age, but he. I mean,
what was that?
It's just yeah. The problem is the age thing, but do we have like, what are the? There are no like clear like, oh, this person was underage, and
but it was.
It was. I thought they were all like 18. Like I thought they were all on the edge.
No, the problem was that some of them he was talking to before they were 18.
But did he have sex with them when
he didn't have sex? He was talking to them.
But see, this is the problem.
But that's wrong. You have to admit that.
I know that that's wrong, but that's the thing. It's like he didn't do anything that was specifically illegal, and that I think makes him puts him in a good
morally illegal.
Morally illegal.
Texting DMing a girl who's 17, 16. Bro, that's you. It's on you. It's not on the girl.
It is on you, of course. But I think that was his point. He didn't want to put himself. I think he talked to a PR person before he did this.
He's like, hey, don't mention age.
And the person was like, hey, don't bring up the fact that some of these women you were talking to are underage. Just stay on the fact that it was all consensual. Everyone chose to have sex.
Now, that is
with
true.
you.
But a 16-year-old choosing to have sex, or 16-year-old choosing to even, because this is the problem. This is my problem. And it's always been my problem. A 16-year-old choosing to even like getting to that discourse with you where you're like, and then because this is what guys say, I found out she was 16 and then I stopped talking to her. That's not what I'm mad at you about.
No, you're mad that he found out she was 16 and he kept talking to her.
No, I'm mad that you talked to her and she was 16 regardless.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they're reaching out to him. I mean, it's not like he's like, oh, let me find all the 16-year-olds online so that I can reach out to them.
I'm saying this young girl, I'm looking at her picture. She reaches out to me. I can go to her page.
Yes, you can.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, take some responsibility is all I'm saying.
Of course, take some responsibility.
And I'm not saying he didn't, but I'm saying he didn't mention the age thing. And it's like that. I was never like, oh, my God, I can't believe D'Elia cheats on his fiance. I could give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, that's not what I was about. I never thought what he did was right. I don't think you should just be having sex with people like that in the first place. I think it kind of demoralizes the whole. I mean, it devalues the intimacy.
But that is your right as a human being to live like that. It is your
right as a human being to live like that.
That's completely legal and fine.
And I do understand that like he shouldn't have been entertaining. Maybe that's the word. Entertaining underage people.
And I wish he'd have just been like, man, I should have not even entertained underage, like,
yes,
and admit to it. Like, dang, some girls I'd get a DM and then I'd start talking to them and then I'd look and see how old they were and I'd stop. But I shouldn't have been doing that. Then I'm like, okay, now we're talking.
He should have done, but if he had said that on his confessional, he'd never be able to come back.
Well, I mean, he's getting murdered. He's getting murdered for the confessional he did. People are still mad at him.
Of course they are. Everyone's gonna be mad.
But people are gonna be mad regardless, and that's fine.
And also, people are going to be mad regardless because he's a successful person, and you don't want to see someone that you like do something you don't like.
That's true.
And that's a problem. Like, that's the real. I mean, he's a very likable character, and so the concept of him doing something that you're like is morally wrong or on the edge of being wrong makes you not trust him, and you want to trust him because you have this guttural reaction of like, I like this guy.
I will say this: he's one of the most likable comedians I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
and that's going up there with the Dave Chappelle's. That's including, a Fluffy. You know what I mean? People, because we're not talking about the best killers. We're talking about when the moment you see them, you were like, I like this guy.
I like this person.
Because there are people that look. Some of the greatest comedians, that's the opposite. I don't like Chris Rock's face. I don't like Bill Burr's face and energy. I don't like Joe Rogan's face and energy. When I see them, I'm not like, man, I'd have a beer with this guy. I'm usually like, oh, this is not the kind of guy I'd hang out with. And then their comedy makes me go, I'd love to hang out with this guy. Mm-hmm. Whereas some people, like you said, like a Gabriel Iglesias or a Bernie Mac or whatever, they walk on stage, Steve Harvey, and you're like, this is my dude.
Yeah, they have that charisma and the it's the same. I mean, I don't want to compare him to Bill Cosby because he did not do that.
Most lovable comic.
But talk about lovable comics, and you hate the idea of someone that you have this gut reaction that you like them is a bad person.
Because
On
it's
any
visceral.
level. On any level.
But you're right. It's not like I just chose to like you. My stomach was like, you like this guy.
Yeah, it's like saying that your intuition is incorrect.
Yeah.
And that's hard reality to face.
That's why, you know who's the greatest of all time when it comes to this kind of the owning your truths and all that shit? Joey Diaz. Because Joey Diaz is 100% like, right when he walks up, you love him. And then he's telling you all his flaws, which like, and they're dark, and you love him more.
Oh, because Joey had a call out during the summer of cancellations.
They tried their little damnedest, didn't they?
They tried, and he was like, yeah, I did it, and I'd do it again.
I'd do it again. Bop, bop, bop. That's what he said. He was like, I'd do it again too, motherfucker. No, because they tried to be like, hey, a
woman.
You said that you let some woman give you blowjobs in the belly room because you promised her stage time, and then you wouldn't even get her up. And he was like, "You're goddamn right. What a stupid idiot." Because was that not a grown woman sucking my dick and not?
Well, also,
what do you want
it's
from
like
me?
As a comedian, and I mean as a woman working in comedy, I would say, if you're willing to offer that, right?
Yeah.
Also, if you're willing to offer that and not get the spots first, you kind of screwed yourself.
You're a bad businesswoman.
You should have said, "Hey, give me these spots, and I'll suck your dick."
And then you get the spots and you don't do it. What's he gonna?
Yeah,
do?
then he'll do the same thing he
was
was
gonna
supposed
tell
to
on
do.
you.
Yeah, exactly. But I get that because it's not it's contractual. She chose to make that decision.
Because us acting like women aren't adults is crazy.
Well, also, aren't we living in a day and age where we're saying like sex work should be completely legal? Like,
which I think it should.
Yeah. So what's the difference? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong that she wanted to make that transaction. She's a bad businesswoman.
Now I get if you're like, oh, but Joey, that's morally wrong to do that, because that is morally wrong to offer that for stage. That's not a nice thing to do. But the woman doing it that's on her, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at Joey Diaz like, oh, dude, you're lesser than because you let her suck your dick. No, I'm like, damn, bro, I can't believe she fell for that. Does she know she could have just gotten up anyway? Also,
he's like an adult man. He's lived some life. I'm sure if like he's running a show nowadays, he would never do that now. Like he says that and it's like, oh, I'd do it again, but it doesn't mean like who I am at this age and time would do it again. He means like if I was in that situation again, I'd probably do it again. I'd do it again.
And then I remember they tried to cancel Rogan for laughing at him telling that story. And it's like, well, how deep does this go now, guys? How deep does this go?
Well, also, what does it say about what they think of us as women? That you're stupid children. Exactly. It's like, why are you babying us? Why can't I be privy to the way men think about women? And even if it is wrong, at least knowing that I have more power.
Yeah. And I have the power to be like, oh, I made that mistake. Yeah, I sucked his dick. I shouldn't have did it for stage time. I probably shouldn't have did it. It wasn't good of him to offer, but it wasn't good on me to do it either.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like women who are hearing this story and then are like, we need to cancel Joe Rogan for laughing at it. It's like, well, does this canceling someone for telling the story and someone else for laughing at the ridiculousness of it change the fact that it happened? No. Does us knowing about it and knowing that this is a perception that some men have of women give women more of an advantage on how they are going to deal with it in the future? Yes. You can learn from the mistakes of others.
Also, now getting into comedy, your women are like, oh man, stuff like this might happen.
People might ask me to do gross stuff, and I'm going to.
And nobody's saying it's good, but nobody. This is me. I'm not going to be like, oh, that you don't deserve that happening to you. You don't deserve shit in this world. What happens happens. You know what I mean? All the racist times that I didn't get booked on a show, motherfuckers like, oh, it's too many black people on the show already. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I deserve that. But guess what? It happened.
We all saw the movie Precious. I don't think Precious deserved what was happening to her.
Any of that. She was a child.
She was a child. She didn't deserve any of that. So
guess what?
Like, could that be applied to everything? Like, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that's I don't like that. Yeah, that they try to make women seem like these soft, like they're not living on Earth too.
Yeah, it's because that's the real problem. You want to act like we're any different from men. Like women take advantage of men in situations too, and it's like we should acknowledge all of these things so
we're human. So it's like, oh, these are human things,
and know that it's not right to do that to anyone, not just a woman.
But it happens.
It's not good.
So I say all that to say, go follow Darren Bates on Instagram. He is not a rapist. He's confirm. Definitely not a rapist. Confirmed, not a rapist in the NFL. So hard to do.
Yeah, and he's hot. Like he could easily rape.
That's not how rape works. That's not how it works at all. Then again,
Maybe that's why.
every time I see a rapist, they're not ugly. Is that weird?
That is so strange to me. I've noticed that too.
They're usually good looking.
Am
I crazy?
Why not just get it the old fashioned way?
Because that's the power's not there.
Yeah.
Even though it is, because a woman opening her legs, you have the power in that situation as the guy. But I guess to some it's not enough.
No, I think the power, if you're someone who wants to like legitimately rape, not like
not Cosby it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the same thing.
Well, is that legitimately rape? Because I thought you meant like how we got here, like that's Hyde rape, and then there's Cosby rape. That's how we got here.
Oh, that is how
there's
we got
Hyde
here.
rape and there's Cosby rape, because we admitted that one is a little worse.
Well, I guess when I say legitimately rape, I was thinking more about like, what is it called? Like when you have sex with someone who's underage, so technically you're raping them, even though they give you consent to have sex with them.
But that's still rape. Statutory. I mean, it is. If we're going off laws here.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to take something without consent, I think that's what it's about.
Do it to me while I'm sleeping, the Cosby way.
But even then, he liked that he had the power of you. Have no, when you're asleep, I could do anything to you. It's not even about raping you. I can pee all over you. You know,
Yeah.
I can do some R. Kelly stuff.
And I know this is fucked up. I don't think R. Kelly. I mean, I don't think Bill Cosby's as bad as R. Kelly.
Oh no, I think what R. Kelly was doing was way worse.
Yo,
than
R. Kelly wasn't raping anybody.
No, but R. Kelly was like manipulating like people's.
He was an
brains.
actual pedophile.
He was doing like he was raping people emotionally.
Yes.
Which is somehow very worse.
I don't know how it's worse, but it's worse. I don't know how it's worse, but in my head, I'm like, damn, Bill Cosby. Because if Bill Cosby was raped, I guess the thing with Bill Cosby is you have to give the benefit of the doubt. And I'm not blaming these women. I'm not. I agree that he is a rapist, but you have to give him. You were in his hotel room. You knew he was married. You came up to have sex. Does not mean you deserve to get pilled and fuck while you're sleeping. I'm saying. And I know this is fucked up, but you did put yourself there.
Well, was that the case for all the situations that they were in his hotel room?
Yeah, they all wanted to.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with all of the stories.
I don't know all 72 stories.
I just know that there were drugs involved.
I know that most of these women wanted to have sex with Bill Cosby.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I think they probably also wanted to remember it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not on Bill Cosby's side. You know I'm not on Bill Cosby's side. I'm saying I feel there's a little bit. You did go up to this married man's hotel room to fuck him. You don't deserve to get raped.
No.
But you did do drugs with him. Mm-hmm. Like you both did Quaaludes. Like it wasn't like he was forcing these women. Oh, he
wasn't like, I thought he was like
roofies and stuff. A lot of the women were also doing Quaaludes with him. Like they were doing drugs. So you see what I'm saying? There is this with Cosby. Sometimes that makes me wonder, like, man, did he do it? Because there's this murky line of like.
Or was he just a Quaaludes guy?
Was he just a Quaaludes guy? Exactly. And he's messing with Quaalude girls. But then again, it's like, what, 70 of them? That's when the number is like, wait, what?
That's too much. It doesn't make sense for it not to be real, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. We said this mostly because we got into this, I thought, because we wanted to say we were happy to see Chris D'Elia back.
Yeah, we are happy to see Chris D'Elia back. I didn't mean to get into all this. Hyde, you're a bad person.
Hyde's a bad person. Chris D'Elia, I'm glad that you're making changes, and I'm excited to see your Family Guy comedy.
I'm excited to see Chris D'Elia's stand up again. I'm excited to see him be silly again. I am waiting because like he posted again, but it was like a picture of him and his baby doing dad stuff, and then the apology. And it's like I want to see him. Like, I want to see that first post where he's willing to be goofy again.
I want to see what his set looks like. Is he going to be like a Brian Regan type now because he's like doing the dad thing?
Or is he going to Richard Pryor? Is he going to dive into what he did wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Which that's what I want.
I mean, I would prefer that if you dive into it.
What happened?
But I don't think he's going to. I feel like he's still
his style of comedy is so not that. That's the only hard part.
He's not personal.
He's so unpersonal.
Yeah.
Though he was getting more personal. His last special, Man on Fire, was way more personal than his other ones. That's
and his material had been getting way more personal the last couple years.
But he wasn't he wasn't revealing all, as Dave Chappelle or other people do. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though Dave Chappelle reveals all, he's very impersonal too, which is I don't know how he does that. He's like Patrice, where it's like they give you everything, but a lot of what they're giving you is like their perspective on what's going on.
Yeah, but that's
it's this
a lot.
Openness. It's this very open, raw. But you know what I'm saying? And then there's comics like, God damn it.
Seinfeld.
No,
that's not. You're not thinking of that kind.
I'm thinking of like even more
someone personal,
even more like Richard Pryor or where it's like I'm talking about my life. Pretty much that's it.
Well, I mean, not like, I wouldn't say this is in the same style of Richard Pryor, but Sebastian's just talking about his life.
Sebastian is Richard Pryor. That's what I mean. I mean, like my whole set is personal.
It's just my life and what's happening.
And
I get what you're saying, because there's a difference between, I'm talking about like my life personally and like the people who inhabit it and the things I do versus my life personally and how I see life.
How I see life. That's what Dave Chappelle gives you.
But D'Elia doesn't do either of those
No,
things.
he does not. He's giving you goofy time.
He does, like, just more observational.
Observation. It's like what Seinfeld does.
Yeah.
It's just D'Elia's is a little more animated and all these things, but it's the same kind of thing that Brian Regan, like these other people are doing, where it's like, yo, what's the funniest thing about this computer? You know, and like whatever, and what it does and all that shit. But I am excited to see him come back, man. I'm excited to see what he does. And I mean, he honestly was one of my absolute favorite comics working before coronavirus.
100%. I mean, when we were at the Comedy Store, if D'Elia was on stage, I was going to go watch it. He was there every night. Like it's not like I ever got tired of seeing his set.
Yeah, and I'm talking about seeing him work the same jokes for months to a year. Still awesome. Because I mean, he is one of those comics. Even though he's working the same jokes, there's always something new.
There's always a little bit spice. Or like he adds like a little new movement.
Or he'll throw in some crowd work or a new joke, but he's going to give you something, man. So I am really excited that he's back touring, and take me on the road with you, bro.
Yeah, me too.
If you're watching this.
I know you don't take chicks,
will get you underage girls. Or not get you. Whatever you want. Whatever you need. Just let me know, baby. And again, I say all this to say, follow Darren Bates. On Instagram, on Twitter, on his podcast.
On YouTube.
The Raw Room.
The Raw Room. It's a great show.
It's an unbelievable show. I literally just did an episode recently. I just did an episode with Will Compton, the great from the Bussin' with the Boys. Love that guy. So go listen to our boy Darren Bates. Go show him love on Instagram at WestlandSon_56. Again, at WestlandSon_56. Beautiful picture of his mother. So when you type in Darren Bates and you see a woman, that's him.
That's him.
Okay.
It's not a trans person.
Nope. It's our boy D Bates. So go show him some love. Go and tell him what, Sam. When you get to his page and you're like, man, I guess I'll do this. I've listened to how many episodes of The Beans. I might as well do a favor for Deric and Sam.
Yeah.
What do you want him to do?
The Beans sent you.
That's it. He shows me all the messages of you guys doing that, and I can't express how much I appreciate it, and how much he appreciates it, and the love that you guys show us, and the growing of the listeners. My God, it's really awesome to see. And
we appreciate you guys. Thanks for telling your friends, and thanks for sharing it all on your social media. You guys are awesome. You always watch the movie after I tell it to you. All those things. Oh yeah.
It's just we're growing the family every day, person by person, and I see it too. Because every day, 1 to 3 to 4 people download the Titanic episode every single day. So those are people, and those are like the diehards.
That's the first episode.
Yeah, those are the people who are like, oh, I'm about to go back and listen to all of this. And if that's happening every day, that's a new person and then it's like, I'll take that. So keep telling your friends, keep telling everybody, and oh my God, the numbers are growing, bro. We'll be hopefully by the end of this year, man, we'll have some sponsors and maybe a studio.
And you could be a sponsor too.
You can be a sponsor. It's also for us. It's even when we're Blue Apron level, I'll still do sponsors like for my boy D Bates or any small company, man. Any company that you've been around and you love the pod. Let us know, bro. I will shout you out for a very minimal fee. I promise you. I'm not gonna break you. Just because you show us love, we will show it right back. Go follow Darren Bates. Yeah, follow him. He's got beautiful skin. Sam, relax. I mean, it's the first thing you're going to notice, besides his ginormous muscles. Relax. This is an adult, monogamous podcast. That's when you don't cheat, right? I mean, no, it's when you're in a one-on-one relationship. Yeah. So, yeah. People still cheat on their monogamous relationships. Why are you smiling? It's just funny that you think that monogamy means not cheating. Cheating is because it's like people who are in polyamorous relationships aren't cheating. It's already determined that they're going to have multiple partners. So it's not cheating. Cheating is going behind the back of someone and doing something that was asked not to be done. So almost all the cheating probably happens in monogamous relationships. I like that you know so much about it. No, I know a lot about words. You know a lot about adultery. Adultery. That's the word you study the most. Sam? Yes. Can you do me a favor before you go cheat on me with somebody with great skin? I have good skin. You have nice skin. Ugh, she's the worst, isn't she? Isn't she the worst, guys? Samantha, can you do me a favor? Yes. You guys can't see it, but the snow is beautiful outside.
It's snowing. It's lovely.
Like hard too. It's like snowing. Like you can't even see that far out the window. Like out, like past the lake, it's like snowing. It's really cool. But Sam,
Yes.
can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting a yes. Can you tell me what you think happens in the movie you've never seen? The reason our beautiful Bean Mafia is here today. Also, you're welcome for the bonus episode I did for you yesterday. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You're welcome. I do it for you guys. I love you. I want you to get extra stuff sometimes. But for the Monday episode, Samantha, can you tell me what you think happens in Juwanna Mann?
Juwanna?
Man.
How's it spelled?
You just said it.
If I need to see the word so I can imagine what the poster looks like.
Spell it. You spell it.
Is it with a J?
Just go ahead and spell it. What you think it would be.
Juwanna?
Just try and spell it.
Jawana?
You were really close. It's actually close enough. Juwanna Mann.
I've never even heard of this movie.
So tell it to me.
How did you know I'd not seen it? I've never heard of it.
Tell it to me.
Okay.
How did you know I'd not seen it? I haven't heard of it. That's really funny.
Okay. So Juwanna Mann. There's a man. He lives in. I think I'm just gonna describe Apocalypto now. Okay, let me think of a different idea.
This is your movie. What do you want it to be?
I don't know what I want it to be. That's not why I watch movies. I watch movies so that my brain can die.
Oh my goodness. Guys, I'm so sorry. This is every week. This is so hard.
This is so difficult. Why don't you
Tell
give
us
me the
the
name
movie.
ahead of time so I can think these up?
No.
Okay, so a man and his family are traveling across a great distance, and it's like pre-civilization times. There's no, running water or electricity.
Okay.
And it's him, his wife, and his 2 children.
Oh, wow.
And they're searching for somewhere to live. But there's just been desert and desert and desert, and there's nothing inhabitable. Maybe it's not pre-civilization. Maybe it's post-civilization. It's hard to tell. That's how we'll have it. You can't tell if it's in the past or if it's in the future.
Okay.
But all you know is there's no civilizations right now.
Okay.
And along the way, they meet like various characters, normally con men who are trying to like screw them over and take like, their food or their resources. Mm-hmm. And perhaps he loses his wife.
Have you seen The Book of Eli with Denzel Washington and Mila Kunis?
Didn't you describe that one?
No.
I don't know.
I think we watched it together, though.
Maybe we watched that together. Is that what I'm describing?
Yeah, that's what you're describing. That's why I'm like.
He had 2 kids?
No, but it's what you're describing kind of sounds like that.
Okay, so at some point, let's say during their trials and tribulations, the wife and the son die. So it's just him and his daughter. And he's like really distraught and depressed after this point. And his daughter has to push him through it. And she's the real Juwanna Mann.
Oh my God.
I like a good like female heroine. And she's the one that gets him to like come back, because it's either he like can bring it together or they're going to lose their lives. Mm-hmm. And because they got to get through this, like how else are they going to survive? I mean, they lost the wife and the son, but he's like still like depressed, and he starts like using some kind of like herbal stuff that's probably drugs. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Get out of it, Dad. You got to get it together." And she ends up doing most of the work until like her life is in turmoil, and then her father saves her, and then right at the end they find like some sort of civilizations they can live in.
Oh my God. I don't I don't even know. I can't even respond how crazy that was. What you just said compared to what this movie actually is. Oh, I wish we could see while we did this, I wish we could see like the reactions of everyone who's watching right now on YouTube as you told that.
Well, I mean, they're great. They can write in the comments, like in the live comments when we premiere it. So
guys, please, man, write in the comments how accurate you thought Sam's guess was. Because my God, That was pretty good. That's
Was it close?
No, that was the best guest I've ever heard, and I'll never forget Hassan's guest for Hardball.
What about the Alex Trebek one, the Double Jeopardy?
Double Jeopardy was pretty good too. Actually, that one was also, I don't know, but the Hardball one was great because Hassan literally thought it was a movie about corporations playing hardball.
Oh, and
then it was about Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Coaching a little black baseball team. That's what I mean. Like, I like it when it's like, wow, I don't even know if you could have got more
off track.
Yeah. You know? And that's why I was like, with Double Jeopardy, you know what's funny? You were off track, but there was a little bit of mystery in yours and like some intrigue. And that is what happened in Double Jeopardy. Whereas this is the most off I've ever seen, ever. It was usually when people, because it's like, oh, wow, it's really clear. You've never heard of this? I don't think you ever heard the word Juwanna.
I've never heard the word Juwanna. I didn't even know that was a word until today. That's why I asked you to spell it. I was like, is this something I should be familiar with?
Juwanna space Mann. Juwanna Mann.
What year is this?
2002.
Oh, really? I don't remember this movie at all.
I know, this is our
This
time.
must be from another parallel timeline that you were a part of and I wasn't.
Again, Sam, I don't know how many times I've told you this, but we are on the same time. Okay.
We aren't. He has all this information that I don't have, and it's from another timeline. And then I have other information he doesn't have. So
I keep telling her I just grew up in Memphis and she grew up in Baltimore, but she's really sure that has nothing to do with it.
That has nothing to do with it because those aren't that far apart.
It's all parallel timelines. I am going to marry this person and put babies in it.
And that kid will live in another parallel timeline, probably.
I hope you, Bean Mafia, can sit back and watch Sam grow into the mother. Think about this guest and then watch this person raise kids.
Hey, I was a nanny for several years. I'm going to be fine.
Did you ever tell them what Juwanna was about?
I know, they never asked.
Because their heads would have exploded. You ready?
Yes. Juwanna. What's the word Juwanna mean?
Juwanna, man. Samantha, I'm so excited to tell you this movie. I saw this movie in theater with my friend Richmond Tooley and my brother. And I don't think, it's one of those times where it wasn't a packed theater. It was like us and like maybe like 7 other people. Mm-hmm. But everyone in the theater, there was a point where I remember Richmond on the floor crying, laughing.
Oh, it was a funny movie.
I didn't say that. I just said there was a point where I remember Richmond on the floor crying, laughing.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Movie starts. Rap music playing, shots of the city. Like a big city. We see a stretch limo. Stop looking at the words.
Okay.
I'm about to tell it to you. Why would you need to read it?
I normally just...
Stop! What are you doing? She's a cheater. This is where the adultery thing comes in.
This has nothing to do with adultery.
It does to me. We see a stretch Hummer limo. Stop looking at it.
Where do you want me to look?
Straight or over at me. We see a stretch Hummer limo. Picture of our lead in the front of it. The lead actor he's a black actor. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm not thinking of his name. But you recognize him but you've never seen Life, but he's the gay guy in Life. That's what I always think of him as.
I thought Life was that movie with the alien that was taken over.
There's 2 Lives.
Oh.
The big, like the most famous Life that I'm holding on. I haven't done it yet because it's one of my favorite movies ever.
Okay. With
Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. This guy is in it, and he's the gay guy in this movie. In that movie. But he's the lead in this movie. And if you saw his face, you'd be like, oh, him. Like, he's not a name actor, but he's a guy, you're one of those kind of guys where you're like, oh, I know that guy.
He's a character actor.
He's a character actor. So, credits are rolling, right? We see a big basketball arena. Mm-hmm. Limo pulls into the arena. Fans are screaming like crazy. Our lead gets out. People are going crazy. Ah! He's like, all right, come on, y'all. Y'all know the drill. I got to get ready for the game now. Come on. Oh, my God, Mr. Jeffries. Can we get your autograph? All right. A kid holds out a piece of pad, and he takes out a stamp and just goes, and the kid's like, a stamp? That's right, kid. Have a good one. And he walks off. Okay? So cut to the game. Jamal is the star of this NBA team. Mm-hmm. Okay?
So he's LeBron.
Or
Jimmy Butler.
Yes, he's dunking on everybody. Crowd's going crazy. Another monster dunk by Jamal Jeffries, right? Uh-huh. This kid is on fire tonight. Well, and then the announcer goes, I mean, I guess he should be after that 6-game suspension he just came off of. Okay? His mind looks right tonight. He hits another jumper. We see him talking shit, and while he's playing defense, he steals the ball. Another big dunk. Crowd's going nuts. Mm-hmm. This guy's a badass, right? He gets another foul. He fouls somebody. It's his 5th foul. You only get 6 fouls in basketball before you foul out. Okay? His 5th foul. The coach goes, God damn it. Go get him. To another guy on the bench. Like, go get him out.
Yeah.
The guy runs in and is like, hey, Jamal, coach wants you out. He goes, man, I ain't going nowhere. Go sit back on the bench. And the coach is like, God damn, timeout. Right? And he's like, I was born with this, y'all. Don't be jealous. He's yelling at the other team. Right? He's just talking trash. Mm-hmm. The coach says, Jamal, you're out. Go sit down. He goes, me? What? I'm out? What? You gonna put me out? Well, look at the scoreboard up there, coach. That's all me. I am this team. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, take this shit. He takes his jersey off. He throws it at the coach. I'm done with you. Good luck finding another Jamal Jeffries. And the crowd's like, oh, right?
Oh, wow.
Then he stands up.
All over ESPN.
Oh, this would be like, what's about to happen would be the biggest thing in sports history. He stands up on the table and he's like, oh, but you're going to boo me? Boo me? He takes off his shorts and he throws them in the crowd. So he just has his butt cheeks out and like a jock strap.
Oh, wow.
He's like, boo you! Boo you! And everybody's like, boo!
Whoa.
Boo! He's like, oh, y'all gonna keep booing me? He takes off his jock strap.
What? Who is this guy?
And he throws it in the audience. And the crowd's like, oh my, everybody's like, oh my, I've never seen this in basketball.
Yeah, I mean, they'd have a lot to say. I don't know what Shaq would say in the little, like, show that he has where they all talk.
I mean, that was terrible. That was just terrible. I mean, him pulling out his penis during the game. You shouldn't be doing that.
Oh yeah, Shaq, you should. Because I'm Charles Barkley. And they all talk like
now do the white guy.
Well, Shaq, I'm Ernie. Shaq and Charles, I also don't think he should have brought his penis out because I'm Ernie Johnson. Elevator E. And then Kenny's like, man, I agree.
And then do like the one girl they brought on to make it have a woman.
Oh, occasionally they bring on like Candace Parker.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't think anybody should be showing any of their skin on a game. You say something like that. And Shaq would be like, I mean, it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny, but
and then he like pulls out a picture he drew of his mom.
Yo, that's an extremely specific reference that she just referenced. But if you got it, send it in. If you got it, send it in, and you might get a prize. So, right, he storms off. Right, he gets like escorted out by security. And he's like, don't you like it, ladies? Don't you like it? And the ladies are like in the crowd are smiling like, ooh, he's a basketball player's penis.
It is.
Probably big. So on SportsCenter, they show him like being exited out butt naked and stuff. And we see all the other players on his team talking about it. Like, it's like other actual NBA players. Like Vlade Divac and stuff, and he's like, you're like a foreign guy, and he's like, I get naked all the time. I don't see what's wrong with it. And then they had talked to another guy who was great, who's like his name is Rasheed Wallace, and he was this kind of guy in the NBA when he was there, like a troublemaker kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And then they're asking him, and it's like you tell like they're playing with that because they're like, what do you think, Rasheed? And he's like, man, I don't think anybody should act that way or behave that way during a game. I mean, this is really about the kids and setting an example for the kids. And then you hear somebody go, hey, Rasheed, you suck, man. Who the fuck said that? I'll kick your ass, man. Like, and so. Cut to the commissioner. Will announce his penalty later. Whoop de whoop. And then this is all on the news, right? The NBA, and then they show his agent. His agent is Kevin Pollak. Mm-hmm. You know who Kevin Pollak is, right? Kevin Pollak.
I know that name, but I'm not seeing a face.
He's a comedian.
Him.
Oh yeah,
I know him.
Yeah, he was. He was a stand-up in the 80s.
I didn't know he was a stand-up.
Yeah.
Does he still do stand-up?
No, he doesn't still do it. I mean, he started getting big movies and stuff.
Yeah, I guess once you get big movies.
But I mean, because you know him from movies, I'm assuming.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
He's been in a million things. And then this is the lead, just so you can.
Oh, yeah, let me see what he looks like, so I can have a visual.
Look away.
Okay, I can't look.
Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. You better not be looking. This guy.
Okay. Yeah, I remember this guy.
He's had like small bit roles in like a million things.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so just so you see his face.
That's his face. He's the lead.
He's the lead. All right. So the commissioner is like, his agent, Kevin Pollak's like, actually, I just talked to Jamal, and right now he feels horrible for what he did, and he's at home quietly reflecting. And you see Jamal at his house, and he's like this. And you see he just took a bunch of shots.
Oh, yeah.
And it cut to a huge party at his mansion. Uh-huh. All right? And he's just like having a good time. And we see him dancing with these like 3 white girls like partying and stuff. Uh-huh. And he's like, I got to get into cologne because they're all twins and stuff. And then you see his wife, Little Kim.
What?
I know.
He's acting a fool and his wife is Little Kim.
Little Kim.
Yo, she about to like
She's watching at this party, and her friend is like, "Girl, I cannot believe your man act like that." And then she goes, "Girl, all these niggas is dogs. But if you're going to have to live in a doghouse, it might as well look like this. Because it's a huge mansion."
Yeah.
And the girl's like, "You said it, girl." And then the phone starts ringing. And then you see Jamal. He looks up. And Little Kim staring at him. And she's like, "What?" He's like, "I know you see the phone ringing. You see me with these bitches. Get the phone." And she's like, "Oh." He's like, "Get the phone." She goes. She gets the phone. And she's like, "It's your Aunt Ruby." And he's like, "Oh, shit." And he grabs the phone. And he goes away from the party. Right? And he's like, "Hey, Aunt Ruby." And it's... great actress. Oh my God, her name's she's the grandma in Blackish.
Oh, what is her name?
She has that great voice. Julia Childs, that's her name.
Okay. Yeah, I remember what she looks like.
You know what she looks like?
Yeah, I've seen the show.
Jennifer Lewis, that's her. That's a Julia Childs.
I was like, that didn't sound
Jennifer
right.
Lewis.
Julia Childs is the chef, right?
I love her because she has that great Broadway voice, and everything she acts is like this.
Yes,
like that. I love that about her. So she's his aunt, right? And she's like, "Boy, I can't believe you done showed your butt cheeks on national television. What is wrong with you? Are you out of your damn mind?" And he's like, "Hey, Ruby, but." She's like, "Boy, don't you interrupt me." Now I read the TV guide, Jamal, and nowhere did it say I'd see my nephew's scrawny ass on Channel 9 at 8:00. And then she goes, "You understand me, boy?" And then he doesn't say anything. And she goes, "Boy, you answer me when I'm talking to you. But you just said don't interrupt. I don't care what I said." And he's like, ah. And then she's like, "Oh, Lord." He's like, "What?" She's like, "They're talking about you on the television, Jamal." He's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, turn it on." She hangs up. So on the news, the league has announced that as of today, Jamal Jeffries is suspended indefinitely.
Damn, he's not going to be able to work.
Yep.
That's a big problem.
And of course, which is so not true, everyone in the party looks at him and goes, and then everybody leaves.
Whoa.
As if that would stop you from partying.
Yeah, but that's kind of how they would do it if it was the 90s, 2000s.
The tropes of a movie, yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, he lost all his money, everyone's out.
Oh, he lost all his money. Also, the idea of like, oh, he lost all of his money in 1 second.
Well, didn't that happen to like The Rock? Like remember when The Rock had that movie where he's like a football player and then his kid shows up and then the party's over?
Oh, you're talking about the quarterback? What was that called?
Game plan or
the
something?
Game Plan.
Yeah. Didn't that happen in one of those scenes?
I think so.
It's like that's the era of like, oh,
party's over.
You have all the money in the world, but something bad happened to you, so party's over.
Yeah. So he's like, "Hey y'all, where y'all going? Come on, it's all good. You know this is gonna blow over. Trust me." Everybody leaves. Cut to him going into his agent Kevin Pollak's office. Right. He's like, "What's up, baby? Shoot it to me straight now. Shoot it to me straight. Tell me what's going on." And then he goes, "Well, as you know, Jamal, the Beat just dropped you from their contract." He goes, "Well, it don't matter. My contract's guaranteed, baby. Guaranteed money. They still got to pay Jamal." He said, "It is guaranteed. But see, not anymore because there's something in contracts, Jamal, called a moral clause. You know what a morals clause is? It means you can't do the things you've been doing." And he's like, well, it don't matter. It don't matter. Well, earn your money. Shop me around. I don't want to play for them no more anyway." And he's like, "Oh, I did. I shopped you around to every team, every single goddamn team. That was my whole morning. You're a head case. Nobody wants you." And he's like, "Fine. I don't got to play in the NBA. Send me to Europe, baby. I like foreign women." And he's like, oh, you want to go to Europe? Well, let me tell you something, Jamal. It's called the World Wide Web." And he turns his computer around, and it's like him all in the headlines.
Yeah.
And he's like, it don't matter. He's like, "It don't matter. Just get me somewhere. You know, I'll play for the Harlem Globetrotters. It don't matter." He's like, "No, Jamal. No one wants you. Not even the Clippers," which is a really big insult because the Clippers were terrible back then. Which is so funny because now they're like a great team because they have Kawhi.
Yeah.
And he's going off. He's like, "Lauren, I thought you were my friend." And he goes, "Ooh, I'm not your friend, Jamal. I'm your agent. Actually, I was your agent.
I'm dropping you.
That contract's null and void as well." And Jamal's like, "What?" He's like, "Seriously, I wish you luck, man. And I hope you invested your money wisely because there will be none coming in for a little while." And he's like, "Oh, you think I need you? Huh? You think I need bling bling?" And he shows all his like jewelry. He's like, "Jamal gonna be all right. I got plenty cash. Jamal Jeffries is set, baby. Set." Cut to his house being completely repossessed.
Wow.
All of his cars, all of his jewelry.
This was happening to a lot of people at this time too.
It was.
Like famous people were losing it all.
This was a thing.
That makes sense. They did it then.
And he's on the phone. He's like, "What? I'm broke." And then you hear the other line, like, "You are broke. What you mean I'm broke?" "Yeah, Midge found chapter 11. Chapter 11? What happened to the first 10 chapters? I love that line. I still think that's funny. What happened to the first 10 chapters? "What you mean? You spent it all?" "Oh, God damn it." His friend hangs up. And he's like, yo. He cuts on the TV. Yo, Tina. Everything gonna be all right, baby. You hear me, girl? You still got some modeling left in you. I mean, it'll be chump change compared to what I was making, but it'll get us by till the commissioner comes to his senses.
She gone.
Right? He's like, come on, girl, come down here. And he's watching TV, and on the TV, you see Vivica Fox show up, and she's like doing a commercial. Mm-hmm. All right? And he's like, WNBA. Pfft, what a joke.
Oh, Vivica Fox is supposed to be in the WNBA?
Yeah, WNBA, right?
Sweet.
So little Kim comes down, she goes, I'm leaving. And he's like, what are you, baby? And he's like, that's the good luggage. Don't make it easy on him because there's people moving all the stuff out the house. And he picks it up, and he's like, this is full. She's like, I'm leaving, Jamal. And he's like, what? You gonna leave me when a brother's down?
Yeah.
And she's like, I only stayed with you because you was rich and famous. Right? And he's like, what? What about all the good loving I was giving you in here? And she goes, huh, I packed it. The batteries too. Bye, Jamal.
Ooh.
And he's like,
told
yeah?
him.
Yeah? Well, your feet stink. She walks out. She did tell him, though. Cut to him. All right? He's talking back with Lauren, his agent. Mm-hmm. Right? And he's like, and the Lauren dude's like, look, I might be able to pull this off. You got to be an adult, though. Can you do that? Can you just be an adult and act like a grown-up? And he's like, hell yeah. All right, in the meeting, just act like you want to be back in the NBA. He's like, man, I got this. You know I got this. God damn, I look good. He's like, oh, God. They walk in, and they're like, what is it you're here to say today, Mr. Jeffries? And he's like, well, I'm here to say, what I did was wrong, I guess. And I sincerely, how do I say this? And the agent's like, apologize. He apologizes, Commissioner. And the commissioner's like, I would like to hear your client say it, not you, sir. You know, because frankly, I'm not buying this. His oversized ego is what I think is eclipsing his talent right now anyway. Mm-hmm. And then Jamal goes, oh, excuse me? Oversized ego? I think you need to trim the bushes on your eyebrows, you bushy motherfucker. You need to watch my game. Think I'm going to take this shit from you? Cut, right?
Yeah.
Now he's back at home. Uh-huh. Time has passed. He's back living with his Aunt Ruby.
Yo. He lost it all.
He lost it all. Okay. And he's playing cards with like her and her friends. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I got to go, right? He gets up to leave. She's like, hey, go get me some groceries while you're out. He's like, groceries? Hey, Ruby, I ain't getting you no groceries. I'm a superstar. I don't do that. And she goes, what? He goes, you heard me, Ruby. I'm a superstar. Cut to like her grabbing his ear as she yanks him out the house. Yeah. Ah! And she's like, go ahead, give me my groceries in, superstar. And she throws him out the house, right? So he's walking by these kids playing basketball at the park, and he's watching them, and the ball bounces his way. And he grabs it, and they're all like, oh my God, y'all. And all the kids run up, it's Jamal Jeffries. And he's like, what's up, y'all? What's up? And they're like, oh my God, can we get your autograph? He's like, yeah, why not? And he pulls out a pen, and they go, where's your stamp?
How do they know about the stamp?
That would be very known that if a guy was doing that,
yeah,
it'd be like, oh, he's the biggest asshole of all time.
That's true. But there was no internet. It's 2002. There's internet, but not like that.
It would be on SportsCenter that a guy does that.
Yeah, that's true.
He also got
Did naked. They have SportsCenter in 2002?
Oh my God, yeah. They had SportsCenter in like the 80s, 90s.
Oh, I didn't know they had it that long. Mm-hmm. When did ESPN become a place?
I think 70s. 70s, early 80s.
They had cable that early?
So that's what I'm saying. Late 70s, early 80s, somewhere around there. Yeah. So he, the kids are all like, oh, where's your stamp? And he's like, excuse me? And they're like, oh, and this one girl's like, you thought you were hot shit, huh? Well, why don't you pass me the ball if you still know how?
Whoa.
And he's like, hey, yeah. And he throws the ball, right? And he's smiling. And then he's watching the kids play basketball. And this little girl is dominating. And she's talking shit to all the boys. And he's watching. And she keeps dominating. And he's like, grabs his phone. He makes a call. He calls his agent. Hey, Lauren, it's Jamal. No, don't hang up. Don't hang up. I'm not calling about me. I'm calling because I just found the most phenomenal basketball player I've ever met. And Lauren's like, what? He's like, yeah, man. I mean, the greatest player I've ever seen in my life, bar none. And get this, Lauren. She's a girl. What? He's like, yeah, she's a girl. You got to see her. You got to meet her. Give this girl a try. I'm telling you, she'll blow your mind. He's like, why are you doing this? He's like, because I owe you one, man. You helped me my whole career. I owe you one. He's like, all right. Cut to Aunt Ruby's coming home from work the next day. And you hear from inside the house, I'm every woman, it's all in me. Anything you want now, baby, you do it naturally. Oh, whoa. And you see him on the inside. I'm about to get paid. Time to get paid. And he's got a dress on. Time to get paid. It's time to get paid. And then she goes, Jamal, what are you doing? And he's like, trying on your clothes, Aunt Ruby. I can gather that, but boy, what are you doing? And she snatches the dress, and he has on a bra, and he's like, Aunt Ruby, I got a plan. Are you seeing where this movie's going yet?
What is this guy up to? Is this some, like, The Ringer, but instead of pretending to be retarded, he's pretending to be a woman?
That's when these kind of movies were coming out. Don't you remember?
I'm surprised this isn't a bigger movie for, like, the trans community.
Oh, dude, they are upset about this.
Oh,
it's one of those movies that people say would never come out if it was today's time.
Oh, yeah.
And this is when it should come out. It would be such a bigger movie. How big would this movie be if it came out now?
It would be pretty crazy.
Because it would be like, who, the balls on this director, on these actors, on whoever wrote this. I would appreciate it. The risk in comedy, like what comedy's supposed to be.
I'm just excited to see how it plays out because it's like, you show me the guy. It's like, how's he pull it off?
Dude, that part never makes sense. So.
Also, I'm really stoked that now Vivica A. Fox is definitely going to be a major portion of the movie.
Like, you thought I was just bringing her up for nothing?
Well, no, I knew she was a part of the movie, but I had no idea how.
To what level?
And now I'm like, oh, like this is the, like, he's the woman sort of situation. He's going to fall in love with Vivica A. Fox, even though he's pretending to be a woman, probably.
You could have wrote this.
Oh, I didn't have to. Like 20 other people wrote this movie in a bunch of different ways.
That's a good point. So she's like, Jamal, I'm not helping you with this. And he's begging his Aunt Ruby, please help, please help. I can't pull this off without you. Please, come on. You know I can't figure this out. Jamal, come on, please. Don't be giving me the puppy dog eyes. And he's like, and she's like, Cut to a WNBA practice. We see Vivica and her team. Mm-hmm. She's like clearly the leader of the team. Her name's Michelle.
No, what's her team?
They're called the Banshees.
Oh, it's not a real.
No, they don't use real names in this. Okay. Obviously, the NBA and WNBA did not give them permission to do this.
But they still call it the NBA and the WNBA.
Yeah, no, they call it the professional league and the professional. They never say NBA. They say professional.
Tricky.
Mm-hmm. So you can get it together of what it is. You
yeah.
know? So, we see Vivica. The coach comes over and he pulls the Kevin Pollak guy who's waiting on his girl to show up. And then she's like, practice is almost over. Where's your girl? And he's like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I trusted somebody I shouldn't have trusted. Right then, this nigga comes in full transvestite.
Like he doesn't look like a female basketball player. He looks like a girly girl.
No, he looks like a female basketball. He looks like no, he doesn't look like a female basketball. He looks like a guy in women's sweatpants and makeup and a wig. Does that make sense?
So is Kevin Pollak like onto him immediately? Like I know who that is.
No one knows.
How would he not know?
No one can hear you.
How would he not know? I'm sorry, I was putting my cup down.
So, the coach is like, she's like, I'm here, right? She has a country accent now.
Oh God, why?
I don't know why. That part, I love that he added it because it did add some flavor to it, but there was no reason for it. And then the coach is like, Letitia, guard her. So the Letitia girl comes up in front of her, and then you see Juwanna Mann talking shit. She's like, hope your game's as tight as your ass. And the girl's like, well, I hope you can bounce that ball like them titties, girl. And then she goes, well, there you go, boom, right? And she's just doing these girls in, obviously, because she's an NBA player.
Yeah, also, how much taller is she than all of these?
Because he would be a shorter NBA player, but in the WNBA, he'd be fucking huge.
Of course.
In the NBA, he'd be very small. He'd be like Steph Curry or something. But Steph Curry in the WNBA is a huge motherfucker. So.
Gosh. This movie.
So. You see her dominate. Vivica Fox keeps asking her to pass the ball. And she's like, ball what? Ball this! And she scores, right? She doesn't pass it. Mm-hmm. Right? And
who wants to play with? Who would want this person on their team?
Well, she's dominating.
Yeah.
So practice ends. Okay. And the coach likes her. Kevin Pollak likes her. They're like, oh my God, you're so good. And they go up to her and they're like, oh my girl, that was amazing. What's your name? They didn't ask her name.
They just let her walk in.
And so she goes, my name? And then right then this girl behind her goes, hey, you want to go to this? You want to go to this something? And she's like, She's like, hey, Juwanna, go to this something. And she's like, oh, Juwanna. And she's like, Juwanna? Yeah, Juwanna, man. And she's like, oh, Juwanna, man. But she was saying like, yeah, Juwanna, man.
Yeah.
And then the coach was like, oh, Juwanna, man. And that's her name.
Her first name or
Like
her
Juwanna, man.
Like Mann's her last name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the girl behind her goes, Juwanna. And then the dude goes, Juwanna? And then the lady goes, Juwanna. And she's like, yeah, Juwanna, man. And the guy's like, oh, Juwanna, man. That's your name.
Okay.
Don't you like? I miss writing like this from the early 2000s. Where how people got their names.
On?
I did like I do love that scene in the movie where somebody gets their name from that.
Oh yeah.
Like some
sometimes
nonsense.
it actually happens. Like remember
It does
we watched
happen.
that Elton John movie and it turned out that Elton John had come up with his name like on the spot. Mm-hmm. Like because John for John from the Beatles.
Yeah.
And then
Elton
was
from,
he just liked some guy named Elton.
He liked some guy named Elton. But that is cool.
That is cool.
So cut to the next day, our girl goes into Kevin Pollak's office. Full dress, lime green. Like, they make her look like a straight up train. Like, they do her up really nice. Mm-hmm. You know, or him. So he goes in and Lauren tells him he got him a 1-year contract with the Banshees. And he's like, am I dreaming? Oh, my God, I'm speechless, Lauren. He's like, what don't I need a lawyer to look at this? And he's like, no, of course not. That's what I'm here for. I do all the hard work. It's done by me. And she signs it, and she's like, well, let's get this fax to your new team. And then she's like, I'm so excited, Lauren. I can't believe it. My own big-time agent, my new life. And Lauren's like, hey, now I'm not just your agent. I'm your friend.
Huh.
And he goes, well, that's so nice to hear, Lauren, because I'm just not your client. I'm your ex-client, bitch. And he pulls his wig off.
No, he's
like,
going to tell him?
No. And then right then he goes to try to get the fax out, but he's like blocking him out. So he can't get the fax out.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, too late. Oh, no. You done messed up now, Lauren. You know, and Lauren's like, no, are you kidding me? You know, and he's like, oh, my God. He goes, well, I'm going to get Coach Rivers on the phone and I'm going to tell her the truth. He's like, oh, you will, huh? Well, how about I say that you made me do this. And the only reason I did this is because this was the only way you can make money off me now. Huh? How about I tell everybody that? And Lauren's like, oh. He's like, you created me, Lauren. You're a fucking Frankenstein. And he's like, this is all you, baby. He's like, oh my God. No one's gonna believe you're a woman. You did. And then he's like, oh, this is blackmail. And then he goes, no, this is black female.
Yo.
Tell me that line's not fire.
Movie?
Is that line not fire, dog?
That line was fire.
And he goes, look, Lauren, you figure out how to get me back on my team. Until then, you can find me in the women's locker room, baby, checking out booties, basketball booties. And he leaves.
Yo, who is this guy?
Yo, right? Who the fuck is this dude? Woo, I love this movie. Yo, cut to the first game. They run out. This is the biggest lie of the whole movie. The game is packed. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, sold out. Like, what? So, you see...
Deric doesn't support women playing basketball.
No, God, no. Jesus Christ. What was our friend? He had that Keith Johnson. He has the best WNBA joke I've ever heard. He goes, I went to a WNBA game once. Came out to my car. There was a ticket on my car. Couldn't believe it. A ticket to more WNBA games. I was like, this is... punishment. Yo, a ticket to more WNBA games. Shout out Keith Soul.
Keith Johnson
Keith
now.
Johnson now.
Kind of came full circle.
That's true. We see Juwanna Mann and Lauren like talking off in like the tunnel before the game starts. The national anthem is being sung by Ginuwine.
Cool.
He's in this movie.
Wait, why is Ginuwine singing for the WNBA but not the NBA?
Especially in that era where he's genuine. Like,
Genuine.
my pony is hot right now, dog. So he's singing that, but his name is Romeo in the movie. Like, he's in the movie. His name's Romeo in the movie, all right? So Lauren is like talking to Juwanna Mann. He's like, yo, just promise me you'll try to fit in. He's like, I will, Lauren, just calm down. He's like, and no dunking. Remember, there's no dunking in the WNBA. He's like, all right, I won't dunk. Fine, right?
What do you mean there's no dunking in the... What if you were a woman who could dunk?
No, you are allowed to dunk in the NBA. There's only like a couple women who can.
Oh.
Like, ever. It's 10-foot goal. Like, we've talked about this. I don't understand why
Why don't they
lower
just make it shorter?
so they can have exciting games too.
Yeah, because it's not that it's not like it would make it it doesn't mean anything different. It's just there's shorter people playing the sport.
But I can do it too.
But it's just a physics thing.
And we deserve the same amount of money. It's like, yo, you would get the same amount of money if you made the rim 8 feet.
Also, who wouldn't want to watch, like, because they're all beautiful women. It's like,
But now I see them dunking on each other?
Yeah, so now I get to see both things that I want. You'd have way
it's
more
like
male viewership.
Yeah, it's not like these women can't jump and do crazy things with their body. It's just like, no, they're not going to be able to do it at this. Yeah, they're not LeBron James.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting them to dunk on a 10-foot goal like how LeBron can. That's crazy. So to leave the goal that height is retarded.
That's stupid.
So Lauren, so they're talking, right? And he says no dunking. He runs off. We see the Romeo dude, Ginuwine. He gives the flower he's holding while he's singing the national anthem to Vivica A. Fox, and they kiss. They're dating.
Hot.
Okay. He goes up to his boy, who's like in this suit, and this guy who's dressed like Master P, and it's Tommy Davidson, the comedian. Mm-hmm. Right? And he's got like gold teeth and like the shade. He looks just like Master P, right? And he's like, what's up, player? Oh, nothing much, man. I'm just looking at all the hot dogs and hamburgers over there. God damn. She's all that in a baseball bat. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, who are you talking about? And he points at Juwanna Mann.
Yo!
And he's like, what's up, girl? And Juwanna's like, oh. And she like hides her face like, oh my God. Like, is he talking to me? I know you see me, girl. Like, he's like just a hood nigga like that, right? Cut to the game. Juwanna's on the bench and she's so mad. Like she's just like the whole and it's a close game, but they're losing, right? And she's just getting more mad and more mad and more mad. There's a skinny girl on the team named Letitia, and she's like giving her the rundown of all the players. Right? Like what she's like, what she's like, what she's like, what she's like, right?
As a player or as a person?
As a person.
Oh, okay.
So like the gossip. Like they're gossiping. And Juwanna's like, okay. Like, you know? And then Juwanna goes, well, what about you? And she goes, oh, me? Shit, I like it simple. A good book and a good bitch, and I'm straight. And Juwanna's like, I like you. Cut to their not their star player, Vivica A. Fox, but like their number 2 star player, Natalie, this white girl, gets hurts her knee. Everybody's like, oh shit, get up, Nat, get up. They have to walk her off the court, and the coach is like, all right, hot shot, let's see what you got. And Juwanna gets up, she's like, all right, coach, now you're coaching. And she runs out on the court. Vivica Fox asks for the ball, and Juwanna just scores. Right? So Lauren's watching from the concession stands, and he's like, all right, things are going good. And Juwanna Mann gets a steal. She's heading to the court. And he's like, no. And she runs up, and she looks like she's about to dunk, and she does a 360 and lays it up. And the crowd is like, whoa! Obviously, like, what the fuck was that? You know? So the whole game, people keep asking Juwanna Mann to pass the ball. They finally, she's dominating though, but she doesn't pass it. They finally lose the game and it's her fault because she gets like a technical call for like getting into it with the refs.
Yeah. And
they lose the game, right? Cut to in the locker room, and Juwanna Mann's going off. We would have won that goddamn game if y'all weren't playing like a bunch of little girls. And then right then, Vivica A. Fox goes and the coach is off. She's like, Coach, I'm not playing with that chick. Like, I will not play with her. She's like, she wouldn't pass the ball. Damn near the ground didn't get to touch the fucking ball with her on the court, right? And the coach is like, well, look, I'm going to need you to make it work because Natalie's out for the season. ACL. Oof. And you're the captain of this team, so I need you to turn this around. And she's like, I can't work with her. And while they're arguing, you see Juwanna still going off, and nobody's like, the rest of the team's not looking at her. And while she's going off, one of her like boobs flies out her bra and like sticks on the window. And she's like, and she goes up and she just like grabs it and like puts it on like that. And the coach and the Vivica Fox looks at her and she's like that, like she's fucking around, you know. So Vivica's like, all right, I'll talk to her. So she goes outside, and Juwanna's all mad, and Vivica's like, hey girl, I just want to give you your props, man. 15 points in just the second half. That's pretty good. And Juwanna's like, what?
So,
what?
I'm just imagining Vivica A. Fox in this situation because she's like doing that whole thing where she's like, I'm trying to be cool, but I fucking hate you.
I hate you. Yes, that's exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
And she's like, 15 points second half. That's really good. Props to you, girl. And Juwanna goes, well, it could have been 16 if you just passed me the ball. And Vivica's like, really? She's like, yes. She's like, look, now I know I'm not the captain of this team yet, but I will be. And I need for that to happen, for us to win, you got to get me the ball. Don't you understand? And Vivica's like, yeah, I understand. And she starts taking off her jersey. She's like, what the hell are you doing, girl? She's like, I'm getting ready for the showers, aren't you? Hell yeah, I'll take a shower with you. And she goes, actually, you know what? No, I don't like taking showers in public places. Things crawl up in you, you never find them. And she runs off. And Vivica's like, okay, right? And you see this nigga walking by the showers, and he stops and he like walks back and he looks in and he's like, damn, I love this league.
In like his man voice.
In his deep ass man voice. Is this not the greatest movie you've ever heard?
This is the best version of this movie I've ever heard.
I like that. So, Lauren is mad at him after the game, right? And he's like, I can't believe you did all that. You showboating would do. And he's like, what am I supposed to do, Lauren? Play like a bitch? And he's like, yes, that's exactly what I want you to do. And he's like, well, look, man, I can't do that. I got to be me. He's like, yeah, but normally when my players being them, I'm not paranoid that their boobs are going to fall out. And he's like, oh, you just got to relax, all right? Just relax. We're going to be fine, baby. We're going to be fine. And he looks up and he sees Ginuwine cheating on Vivica A. like kissing on some other girl and shit.
Oh.
And he's like, what a snake.
Because he's been around the women. Now he's like on their side.
He's learning.
He's learning. That's what these movies are about.
So she goes out to her car. Juwanna Mann. Tommy Davidson's there waiting on her.
Uh-huh.
And then she's like, can I help you? And he's like, yo, you are one tall glass of water. And I'm telling you straight up. A nigga's thirsty. And then she's like,
I love this guy.
She's like, who are you? He's like, oh, you don't know me? Rapper extraordinaire, Puff Smokey Smoke. And he pulls out his CD, which is really funny that he has his CD on him. Yeah, but he's like a famous rapper, you know?
I mean,
He goes, Puff Smokey Smoke. Here's my album. I also sang backup for Romeo on his last album. She goes, oh, well, you can sing backup right now. Just back on up. Back the hell up away from me. And then she gets in the car and she drives off, right?
what's she driving?
Shitty, like her, like Aunt Ruby's car.
Oh, okay.
You know? So at practice the next day, Juwanna still won't pass the ball. Okay? She won't pass the ball. She scores again. Boom! And the coach is like, God damn it, Juwanna. What the hell are you doing? And she's like, well, I'm sweating. I'm breaking down the defense. I'm wearing these chumps out. I'm making all the shots. I mean, take your pick, coach. What do you want me to do? And she's like, that's it. Practice is over. Michelle, stay. Juwanna, stay. So they both stay. She goes, Juwanna, look around. Tell me what you see. And Juwanna looks around. A bunch of empty bleachers I'm about to help you feel. She's like, oh, no. That sign says Banshees. Banshees. The Charlotte Banshees. Not the Charlotte Juwanna. And Juwanna's like that. Like, ugh. She goes, so you two are going to play one-on-one. And one-on-one, and one-on-one, and one-on-one. And guess what? One-on-one. Until you get the program. Got it? Yeah, I got it, coach. So Juwanna throws the ball at her, like, get up. And Juwanna's like, okay. And then Juwanna just dogs her.
Michelle throws the ball?
Yeah, Michelle throws the ball. And Juwanna's like, okay. And they start playing one-on-one. And obviously because, you know, he's a star NBA player.
Yeah.
He just beats the shit out of her. Like, embarrassing her. Like threw it off her butt. He threw it off. Like, at one point, he, like, fakes a shot. She turns around. He throws it off her butt, catches it, and shoots it and scores. And he's like, now that is an assist. Get it? An assist. Oh, I'm just playing. Right? So he just dominates her. And then she beats her. She's like, well, that's game. And she's like, whew, I win again. And they go sit down and Vivica's like, wow, you really think, she's like, you really think you're something, huh? And Juwanna's like, well, I got it going on. What can I say? And she's like, wow, girl, you got some big balls on you, don't you? And he goes, no, like that, which is crazy.
It's so funny.
And she's like, you just don't trust anyone but yourself. That's your problem. You need to trust your team, or that's where you're going to end up, is by yourself. All right? We need teamwork. You got mad skills. I'll admit that. But we got to help each other if we're going to win. And Juwanna's like, you really think I got mad skills? She's like, yeah, girl, you're crazy good. It's like, oh, thanks. And then they start getting cool, right? Uh-huh. So cut to them walking to their cars after practice. And Romeo pulls up to pick up Vivica Fox. Mm-hmm. He's like, what's up, baby? And he's like, how you doing? They kiss. He's like, let's go. And she's like, Vivica Fox, hey, Juwanna, let's hang before the New York trip tomorrow. And she's like, it's a date. Right? And then they, like, her and Vivica Fox, Ginuwine and Vivica Fox kiss. They make out. And then Juwanna's like, ugh. Right? And they drive off. Cut to the next day. They're all dressed up. And she's like, I booked us an entire day at the spa, Vivica Fox. And Juwanna's like, okay. So the masseuses come out. And Vivica Fox's masseuse is like this beautiful white girl. And then Juwanna's like, where? You're angels, girl. Look at you. You know? And then her masseuse is like this huge, fat, ugly dude. You know, and he's like beating them up, and then you see them like getting their legs waxed, and like Vivica Fox is like, and then you see Juwanna like, oh, like every time, you know, trying not to scream. And then they leave. He's like, all right, don't forget, girl, 7 a.m. flight tomorrow. I'll see you next morning. Like, I'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Next morning, he wakes up late. So he's rushing in his car, and he's putting on his makeup and his wig, and he's getting to the flight. He's speeding to the airport. He passes a cop.
Oh, no.
Cop pulls him over.
Oh, he's going to seduce the cop so he doesn't get a ticket.
So he's like, oh, Lord, I don't need this. And he looks in the review. He's like, fuck, he's white. You know? And the cop gets out. And he's like, morning, officer. Nice morning, in it. The birds chirping. Everybody's, kids is playing. And he's like, license and registration, please. Anybody ever tell you look just like Mel Gibson? Like to the white guy. He's like, license and registration, ma'am. Ooh, actually, I might not have it. It might be in my other car. The other car's a Benz. I don't know if it's in this car. Well, it better be in this car, or me and you were heading downtown. Okay. And he grabs his license. He's like, here it is. And he gives it to the cop. And the cop's like, and then this nigga goes, my cousin's Whitney Houston. And she's like, I don't know what that would mean. And the cop goes, who's Jamal Jeffries? That's me, officer. The cop looks at him. You're Jamal Jeffries. Yeah, recently, officer, I had a operation. And the cop goes, wow, so you have he's like, mm-hmm. But you had get out of the car. But officer, out of the car. Oh, God. I'm sorry, officer. Step away from the vehicle. Officer, please. I'm sorry. I really got to get going. I'm sorry. Please, can we just work this out on ourselves? And then he's like, spin around. Oh, God. He's all scared. And the cop's like, you look fabulous. I'm getting one done too, girl. What? Right now, I'm only $1,000 away. And Juwanna's like that. Like, who did your work? Oh, my God. I've been looking for somebody to do me. And you look amazing. And he's like, oh, well, thank you. And you're going to be great. Also, I got to get going, though. Oh, you do? Well, you know what? No ticket. Oh, thank you. And hey, make sure when they get you, they get those nose hairs on the right side. Okay, that's really important. Gotta go. And she drives off.
The nose hairs on the right side.
Yep.
That's really important.
I like that you didn't see that cop going that way.
No, I didn't see that happening. Jeez.
So the game.
Creativity in this writing room.
Creativity in this writing room. Way to put it, Sam Jam. So the game goes on. Coach tells Juwanna, yo, you got to pass the ball or I'm going to bench your ass. Mm-hmm. Cut to Juwanna gets in the game. Everybody's like, pass it. She doesn't pass it. Cut to slow-mo and Vivica Fox is wide open. She's like, Juwanna, pass it. Right? And Juwanna's like, you ready? You ready for this? Talking straight to the defender. Here you go. Boom. And she doesn't move and she loses the ball. And she's like, no. And it goes straight to Vivica Fox and Vivica Fox puts it up. Uh-huh. And Vivica Fox and the team is like, yeah. And you see Juwanna like that.
Yeah.
And then Vivica Fox comes up to her and slaps her on the ass. Whoosh. Good job, girl. That's what I'm talking about. Juwanna's like, oh. So cut to, she starts passing everybody the ball.
So that they slap her on her ass?
So that she can slap people.
Oh, damn.
So you see her pass the ball, and like she's not just slapping people on the ass though, Sam.
She's like grabbing it.
Grabbing and squeezing and like running down the court like with both hands.
Is this where your cousin fell out of this chair laughing?
No, it wasn't here. But I love the idea of these WNBA players, with their teammate or not, being cool with another player running down the court, squeezing their butt cheeks during a live televised game.
Yeah, but it's 2002. Things like this are happening in rom-coms all the time, and we're ignoring it.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about imagine being a real WNBA player in
real
life.
Oh, yeah, in real life.
Your teammate is squeezing your butt down the whole court. Sam, are you not going like, am I going to have to fight? Is my teammate trying to rape me? What the hell are you doing? And then you see them in like a huddle, and the coach is like, all right, we're going to go to the left. And you see Juwanna squeeze her hand, and we're going to squeeze to the left. And the player's like, and then we're going to go to the right, and we're going to squeeze. And she's just squeezing all her everyone's butt.
Oh my God. I love this movie so much. I've never, you know what this movie reminds me of? Hey, the material, I don't want to give it away because he hasn't done it on a special yet.
Yeah, don't give it away.
But it reminds me a lot of like what Tony was talking about.
Yeah, Tony Hinchcliffe's material about trans people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very...
go see Tony Hinchcliffe on stage.
Go watch Tony Hinchcliffe on stage. I'm sure it'll be in his next special.
I'm sure it will be.
I mean, or it probably was supposed to be in whatever special was supposed to come out last year.
Yeah.
Until we all got fucked.
But he's working on some really funny shit right now.
He was working on... Well, I haven't seen it. I don't know if he's even still working on that bit.
Oh, he might not be. But at the time, before everything
coronavirus,
ended...
he had a bit about trans people that was one of the best trans bits I'd seen.
I mean... killed me every time.
So
and
good.
It's a very like subtle
and smart. Mm-hmm. Really smart. And yeah, it reminds me of this movie.
Yeah.
Sorry. So they're down 1. Juwanna makes another pass. A girl hits the game winner. They're celebrating. Juwanna gets the game ball after the game. The team's all happy. And everybody's like, all right, let's shower up, ladies, and get out of here. And Juwanna's like, because they're on the road. Oh, shit. Cut to them in the shower. And you see all the other girls staring, like, they're all looking like this. And the camera pans over, and Juwanna has her full uniform on showering. And she's like, never take it off after a game. Superstitious. Just got to, after wins, got to have it. And they're all like, huh. Right? So Vivica and Juwanna are roommates.
Of course they are. We haven't established any relationship with other women on the team.
No, we don't need any other women. So Vivica's like, hey, you mind rubbing this lotion on my shoulders? Oh, my God. She's like, yeah, no problem, girl. She's rubbing her. Oh, my God. And then Vivica's like, I get so stiff after games. What about you? And she's like, yeah, I'm starting to get stiff right now too, girl. She goes, oh, you want me to rub you down? And he's like, oh, no. I'm good. I'm fine. Right? And then Vivica Fox, she's like, all right, let's go to bed. And she pulls out a picture out of her bag of Romeo. She's like, gotta have my baby with me wherever I go. And then Juwanna's like, you think Romeo takes a picture of you everywhere you go, everywhere he goes? And then she's like, yeah, because I taped it to the inside of his luggage. And they both laugh. And then Juwanna's like, do you love him? And she's like, obviously, because if I'm Vivica, I'm like,
well, you know.
Yeah. What? Also, where's this coming from?
Yeah. And
she's like, I mean, yeah, I love him. I mean, I have my doubts, and it's not perfect, but it's better than being alone.
Okay, that doesn't sound like she loves him.
Also, if I'm Juwanna, I'm like, hey, I know that you were saying that to me because I'm alone, but it doesn't sound like you love the guy.
Yeah, I have my doubts, and it's not perfect, but it's better than being alone. That sounds like you don't love him at all.
Sounds like you have a problem being alone.
See, it sounds like you have a problem being alone, and you're settling.
Yeah, for Ginuwine. Not bad.
I mean, not terrible.
Let's do it.
If he plays that every time.
Riding
my pony.
My saddle. Waiting. Coming. Jump on it. You say what?
But if you play that every time you made love with him, that would make you a little more excited.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, though, after it would be a little weird that he cut that on to make for himself to make. I'd be like, dude, you don't want to cut on like.
You wouldn't have like your side track or like a B track.
No, you don't want to listen to yourself.
I'm sure Drake does.
Yeah, if I was Drake, I'd fuck to myself. I know I've heard Lil Wayne say multiple times he cuts on Drake to have sex.
Of course he does.
Because you know what? You know why? So during sex, he can be like, I found this guy. It's a subtle flex during sex.
Subtle flex, and it's not like it's you.
Yeah, it's not you, but it is a big brag. You can be like, I'm the one who discovered it.
It is a big brag.
So, just saying. As he goes back to
he
pumping.
just gets back to work.
So, our boy gets home, and he tells Aunt Ruby about the trip and how good the game is and how good the team's getting along. Mm-hmm. And he's like, me and Michelle are starting to get tight, Aunt Ruby. And Aunt Ruby's like, you like her? And he's like, yeah, I sure do. And she's like, does she like you? And he's like, maybe. I don't know. I will say she's getting more into me. And the more time we spend and the more she's like, we're hanging out. And then she's like, boy, have you lost your goddamn mind? He's like, what? You a man posing as a woman. She don't want you. She wants the girlfriend. Dummy. And then she walks off. And this was funny because he goes, like it hadn't even crossed his mind that she hasn't even met you yet, you idiot. She thinks you're a big burly woman.
Well, it's like it just happens in so many movies. What is it when Chuck and
I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
I Now Pronounce You Chuck and
Love
Larry.
that movie.
He's trying to get with Jessica Biel, right?
Yep.
And
same scenario, kind of.
He thinks that she's totally into him, and he's like, "No, she thinks you're gay.
She thinks she wants a friend.
A friend."
Because what you're doing is undervaluing what a friend is.
I think also that's the real lesson in these movies is that sometimes men, when you're like being friendly with a woman, it's just because she wants to be friends.
Straight up.
Even when you are portraying yourself as a heterosexual man. Sometimes it's just because she wants a heterosexual man as a friend.
So, got to big fancy dinner. Mm-hmm. And we see our girl Juwanna at the bar. She's got a black dress on. And Vivica Fox walks up looking unbelievable. Yeah. This is 2002 Vivica, so she looks good.
Yeah, she still looks good.
No, she does, but I'm saying, you can imagine.
No, but I know. I remember
18, 19 years ago how she looked.
Same era as, Kill Bill Vivica.
Yes, exact same time.
Best Vivica.
Gosh, she's bad. So, Vivica Fox, she walks, she looks great. She walks up and Juwanna's like, damn, you look like, he's like, for real. He almost uses like, lets his man voice slip out. He's like, girl, you look so beautiful. And he's like, thanks, Juwanna. Thank you. And then Juwanna's like, well, whatever happened to you too? Goddamn, girl, you gonna leave me like that? She's like, oh, of course, you look great too. And she's like, oh my God, Puff's gonna love you tonight. He goes, Puff, what do you mean, Puff? And then he looks over and you see Tommy Davidson like, sitting with Romeo.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, good Lord, you did not set me up with that Carolina River cricket.
Carolina River
I thought that was a good line. Carolina River cricket. I don't know why that's uglier than other crickets, but it is. Look at your face. So I'm out of here. And Vivica's like, please, come on. It will mean so much to me if you stay. Please, for me. And he's like, oh, God. So they sit, and homeboy's trying to flirt with her and trying to grab her ass. Tommy, and she's just not having it, obviously. And then the waiter comes by and is like, oh, would you guys like to order or you need more time? And Juwanna's like, oh, no more time. Ready to order right now. Just give me vodka tonic and keep pouring them till your arms get tired. And they're like, what about for dinner? Would you want to order now? He's like, oh, yeah. So just get me. And then he's like, I'd like and then I don't know why this always stuck with me, but Tommy Lee Davis goes, all right, stop right there. You're being country, girl. Country got you crazy. 3, 5, 3, 4, 7. Now, the girl had a filet mignon. Little piece of meat, pink on the inside. Thank you kindly. Okay. So the night passes. We see Juwanna getting drunk as shit. Mm-hmm. And then she's hammered now. She's like, she gets up. She's like, I'm going to the bathroom. And then Vivica's like, I'll go with you, girl. No. I got this. And then she runs to the men's bathroom and just, floom, and just pissing like a man's piss.
She could easily go to the women's bathroom and
just
go
sit down
in the stall. You could still stand up. The stall closes.
Good point. This man's at the urinal. He's faded though.
Oh yeah, he's faded.
And then you see a white guy already in the bathroom peeing, and he looks over and he's like, and then like Juwanna just looks at him and goes, "Ah!" like burps. And the guy's like, what the f-? And he walks off. And then you see this gay guy kind of walk in. And he starts peeing. And he looks over. And he's like, and then Juwanna looks over at him and just goes, just farts. Mm-hmm. And the guy's like, oh. And he walks off. And then Juwanna puts his penis away.
Yeah. And
then heads back into dinner.
Wow.
Wow, right? Like, wow, right?
What is this movie rated?
PG-13.
Okay. I mean, that's what I thought. We didn't see any penis in this shot.
No.
I mean, obviously.
Imagine
even if it was rated
R.
R.
What a crazier movie.
They would have done some extra scenes if it was rated R.
Oh, for sure.
Have more opportunities for fun stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So Juwanna's watching Romeo and Vivica A dance on the dance floor. Mm-hmm. And you see Romeo like get another girl, like they're holding like this, and he gets another girl's number. Like he's like that kind of guy.
How is he getting another girl's number?
So they're dancing. Imagine a slow
dance. Like a slow dance.
And like you're looking this way, I'm looking this way. There's a girl giving me her number like this. I'm putting it in my pocket.
Yo, who is this guy?
Ginuwine. Okay. So cut to the end of the night. Romeo and Vivica Fox get to her place. They get out the car. He walks Vivica to the door, and then he comes back and he tells his boy Puff, he's like, hey, I'm going to stay here for the night. Y'all kids be safe, though. And he gives his boy a condom. And Tommy Lee turns around. He smiles. He's got the condom like that. Right? So cut to, he drops Juwanna off at her place. And he gets out the car. He's like, nice crib. You mind if I come in and get something to drink? And then Juwanna's like, ran out. Well, what if I come in and go to the bathroom? I don't have one. Okay.
He's at his aunt's place, right?
Yeah. He's like, what about I just come in and go to sleep? No, you're not getting into my house, okay? I don't need you checking in for burglars. I don't need you coming in for a drink. I don't need any of that shit, okay? You're not getting inside me or my house. Thank you. Bye. And he's like, well, how about a little kiss? And Tommy Lee comes in. He's like, I ain't giving you no little kiss. Giving you a goddamn little kick out. He like jumps at him, giving you a kiss. Get out of here. He's like, oh, come on. He goes in to kiss him anyway, and he knees him in the nuts.
Nice.
And he goes in the house. And Tommy Davidson is still like, whew, whew, like it.
He's into it.
Yeah. Cut to big montage.
Oh, okay.
Them winning. They're dominating. He's getting closer with his teammates. He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He's signing autographs for like a line that's like a wrapped around the stadium, which is like, what WNBA game is like? What is this?
I mean, have they ever had a man dressed as a woman play for them before? I think that would change.
Yo, I would be excited.
Turnout.
Because I would be like, not that there's this I would just be like, man, she looks like a dude.
Yeah, it would be like how you feel about who's the woman in a Game of Thrones who's like super
Brienne of
tall?
Tarth.
Yeah,
But Brienne of Tarth, Sam, looks like a woman.
yeah, but if she was playing in the WNBA, I would show up.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, you know how a man just has a certain kind of face, an Adam's apple?
Kind of bulge between his legs.
And you know what I'm talking about, like the shoulders that men have? It's just
Yes.
like those kind of things. Where I'll be like, what is this? Oh yeah, and the penis. And the big penis between his legs. That's also a big factor as well. All right. You see them winning a lot. You see the team in the montage celebrating, like all in the shower with their clothes on, like showering after a win. Like,
Oh, they're all doing the thing.
yeah, they're all doing the thing she does.
So funny.
Yeah, like, and they're loving her. She's the top dog now. Okay.
Yeah.
So you see, cut to after a win, the team's all hanging in the hotel. They're all hanging in one room, like a sleepover, like a slumber party kind of vibe. Okay. And cut to, somebody brings flowers to the door. And then one of the girls like, damn girl, we've been here one day. You got some piece of meat sending you flowers. And the girl's like, it ain't for me. It's for Miss Juwanna.
Ooh.
And then Juwanna gets up and walks over like this. Like, you know, and she grabs them and they're like, who's it from? And then somebody snatches the card and it's like, oh, it's from Mr. Puff Smoky Smoke. And they're like, ooh, he your baby daddy. You know, girls go, he your baby daddy. He your baby daddy. And then she goes, he's your mother's sister. Like, and they go, damn girl, why you like that? She's like, I don't want him. And then one girl's like, man, man, if a man send me flowers, that's my type right there. I would do anything for that. And then one other girl's like, girl, if a man passes you the salt, he your type. And Vivica Fox is like, nah, the kind of guy I like is the kind of guy that send me flowers for no reason. And on the card it says, just because it's Wednesday. And Juwanna's like, right? And you see another girl's like, man, I like it when a man says you're the most beautiful girl in the world. And Juwanna's like, girl, he only saying that to get in that ass. And everybody's like, ooh. And then he starts giving them like all this game.
Oh, because he's a guy. And
Well, he has a
knows.
penis. And he's giving them all this game on me. And he's got them going like at church, they're all going, hallelujah. You know, like, yeah, preach, girl. And then she's like, you know, another thing men do? They always bragging about the size. When we all know, ladies, it ain't the size of the boat, but the motion in the ocean. Can I get a hallelujah? And it's quiet. And all the girls are like,
No, it's about the size.
and then one girl goes, it ain't about the size of the boat. Shit, bitch, I want the Titanic. And all the girls are like, ah. And then she's like really embarrassed.
Well, also because he's like insecure about whatever his own size is.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's funny because you also thought you were going to get them so hype on that.
Yeah.
And that would hurt too. They're like, every woman is like, no, I
we want it huge. You're
Titanic.
wrong.
You're wrong, dude.
Whatever you've been telling yourself, it's wrong.
Cut to the next day. The team has to get physicals. Which is really weird. Hey, Sam, never heard of a team getting physicals at the end of the season.
Yeah. That seems kind of
Backwards.
Yeah.
What if somebody has, cancer or something? You think you'd want that before they played all the season? So he doesn't know what to do, and the doctor's like, so when was your last period? And he was like, well, I played 2 periods last week. So yeah, that's last week. He's like, no, your last menstrual cycle. He goes, let's see. I was unplugged last Thursday. Yeah, last Thursday I was uncorked.
Oh, God.
And the guy goes, okay, well, go ahead and take everything off and I'll be right back. And he's like, what? You want me to get naked? And he's like, yep, I got to check you up. And he's like, And then he goes out and this man, he starts going, like the doctor walks out. So he starts looking through all the boxes in the room to like find something. And he finds a chicken outfit. And this nigga puts on the chicken outfit and just runs out the building. Doesn't make any sense.
Why would there be a chicken out
It doesn't make any sense. Sam, they writers had no idea how to get him out of the situation.
Yeah, what's about them being the banshees makes them have a chicken outfit around?
Dude, I don't know. This is the only part of the movie that doesn't make sense. Besides, the WNBA having fans.
Or no one noticing that he's a man.
Or no one noticing his testicles.
Okay, so he gets out.
So he goes to see his boy Lauren, right? Mm-hmm. And Lauren's like, wow, 3rd career. How do you find the time? He's like, I'm done, Lauren. I'm out. And then Lauren's like, you sure you want to run that by Juwanna first, considering all these offers? He's like, no, man, I'm done. What do you mean offers? And he's like, Coca-Cola, Reebok, Nike, with the hot dog joint that Michael Jordan did.
Hot dog?
Ballpark
Oscar
Frank.
Mayer.
Yeah, Oscar Mayer. Yeah, that one. He's just naming all these huge companies.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, they all want a piece of Juwanna. You jump on any of these, you'll make Juwanna Mann richer than Jamal Jeffries ever dreamed of. And he's like, I don't care. I don't want to do this anymore, man. I just want to get back on my NBA team. That's it. That's all I want. And Lauren's like, okay, I'll make it happen for you. All right. Vivica Fox is coming home. You see her entering her house, and she's like, Romeo. She goes upstairs, and you hear Romeo talking. And she's like, Romeo. And you hear Romeo go, yeah, baby, like that. Romeo. Hold on, baby, I'm almost finished. Romeo. And he gets up. He's like, oh, who is it? Who is this in my bed? How did you get in here? She's like, and Vivica Fox runs away.
Romeo.
Cut to, she calls Juwanna crying.
Because they're best friends.
Yep. And Juwanna's like, girl, why you crying? Cut to Juwanna pulling up to Romeo's house. Do.
She's about to beat his head.
Romeo answers the door, and he's like, look, I knew you wanted me to. What you want, girl? Just tell me. I got you. You want some of this? Come on in. And he just knocks him out. Bam! He punches him, and then Ginuwine goes, poof. Poof, and then passes out. So you see Vivica Fox crying on Juwanna's shoulder. How could I not see what he was doing, girl? How could I not see? And then Juwanna Mann says, this shit is funny. She goes, oh, honey, it was probably the glare from Puff Smokey's teeth. And then she's like, you don't blame yourself for that snake. One day he'll know what he messed up with. And then she's crying. She's like, Juwanna, thanks for being such a good friend. You just keep it so real, and you're always just you. And he goes, actually, Michelle, I need to tell you. And you know what? I'm going to quit tripping. We're going to move on. I got the playoffs to take my mind off this, and we got a good shot at winning the championship, especially since we got you, girl. And Juwanna's like, and doesn't say anything.
It's about to all blow up in his face.
It's always right. It's, you just so you know, if you're ever watching a movie and you're like, when is this going to blow up in the character's face? It's when they're about to come clean.
Yeah, right when they thought that it was time to come clean, and then they held their mouth for a second.
Because there was they were about to come clean, and then the other person in the scene said something. That's it. The other person in the scene literally just interrupted them.
There's the opportunity to come clean, and then the other person's like, "Oh, opportunity's over."
So Lauren tells Jamal, like, hey, we have a meeting with the commissioner tomorrow to get you back in the league. And Jamal's like, yes. He's like, what time is it? And he's like, tomorrow, 3:00. I can't make that, Lauren. I got the game tomorrow. Everyone expects Juwanna to play. Hey, what do you want from me? I'm sorry. What do you want from me? Like, I got you this thing. If you want to get back in the NBA, this is your only shot. All right. He's like, besides, I don't want Juwanna to play. I want Juwanna to disappear. Remember, that was our plan. She has to disappear like a ghost, which also would be crazy.
Yeah.
That
people
this
would
star
wonder. Yeah.
is
that
gone.
would be news.
That would be the biggest news ever that this person vanished.
Shaq would be like, whatever happened to Juwanna?
I don't know what happened to Juwanna, man.
That's good. You can do
I don't know what happened. She was playing one day. Next day she was gone. It's crazy.
Yeah, you know, Shaq, I always thought that Juwanna looked like a man.
Chuck. Shut up, Chuck.
This is Ernie. So I would love to see those guys talk about this
I watched
movie.
just enough of that show that you doing the impressions just pleases me.
Just please, because you know who they all are.
I know who they are.
I remember the first time showing you that, and you were like, whoa, that is a lot of bald head in this.
It was a lot of bald
Because
heads.
the first time you see it, you're like, wow, all 4 of them are bald.
All of them are bald.
And like spit shine bald. Mm-hmm. Like where it's like, oh, that's a crisp bald head.
They all have something to say.
They all have a lot to say.
Especially Charles.
Charles has the most to say.
Charles has so much to say. It's like, we get it. You feel insecure because this isn't your show.
It's definitely Charles' show. It's definitely Charles Barkley's show. Like, not even close. Like, that's the reason they've won Emmys, and he's won Emmys.
You think he's the reason?
No, Sam, they've literally won Emmys, and he won them. And then he is the reason that... So he was on the show way before Shaq.
Yeah, but I think everyone else is better than him.
No, Charles Barkley's the show. Without Charles Barkley, the other guys don't have anybody to argue with, to disagree with, to be like, that's the craziest shit I've ever heard. Why would you say that? No, but San Antonio got some fat women, big old women, eating all them churros. like you need a guy saying that on national TV so the other guys can be like, that is crazy. I would never say that. You know what I mean? That's why I know Charles is the show.
Yeah. Okay.
So, cut to the game. the girls have not seen Juwanna get in the locker room, and they're getting nervous.
Of course, she's a star
Jamal
player.
calls Lauren. He's like, "Hey man, can you reschedule?" And then Lauren's like, "Yo, I'm already down here. The commissioner's here. If you're not here in 5 minutes, you will never play in the NBA again. You understand me?" And he hangs up. Right then, Aunt Ruby walks in, and she's like, "What's it gonna be, boy? You gotta decide. You gotta go somewhere." And she holds up a suit and a bra. And he's like, "Oh."
What kind of bra? Is it a sports bra?
No, like, you know the bra you be wearing, the brown one?
Oh, you mean like
The
a
flesh
real
colored
bra?
bra? Yeah, that
like
joint.
with the underwire?
Yeah.
Who wears that to play basketball?
Don't know.
Any person who's pretending to be a woman should know that that is the bra you wear when you're not running around and jumping.
Really, because like, why would you want your boobs going that much?
Exactly.
So they intro the Banshees. The girls don't know where she is. Like, Jesus Christ. Which is so weird that they didn't tell the coach or the person doing the intros, because the person, they don't know where she is, right? The coach is anybody. But the intro guy still goes, "And number 22, Juwanna Mann." It's like somebody wouldn't have told her that, "Hey, we're going to change the lineup. She's not here."
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, the person doing the intros is a woman too?
No, it's a guy.
Oh, okay. You said her.
Oh, tell me, I have to
gotta-
say that she's not here. Juwanna's not
yeah.
here.
I got excited for a second. I was like, wow, is that how the WNBA works? Like everyone is a woman in every facet of
No,
it?
that would be stupidly funny.
I mean, I don't. If they're not gonna lower the rim, they might as well make everyone a woman in every facet of the.
Lower the rim. Ladies, help yourselves. Make some more money. You want more money?
That's our advice.
Yeah. So they go, "Number 22, Juwanna Mann." And it's quiet and there's a pause and nobody runs out and the crowd's like, "What?" And then you see her run out. And everybody's like, "Ah." And Vivica Fox is like, "Where were you?" "I had to help a friend with a tough decision. Now let's go kick some butt." All right.
So we're supposed to believe that this guy,
Yeah.
who's willing to pretend to be a woman,
Yeah.
so that he can make money,
Yes.
would give up his only chance
Yes.
at getting back in the NBA,
Uh-huh.
so that he could help out his girlfriends.
Absolutely.
My girlfriend.
Yo, dude, girl power is stronger than any other power, than black power, than white power.
It really
There's
is. If
nothing
I've learned anything,
There's nothing stronger than girl power.
if I and several male comedians have ever learned anything, girl power is the strongest power.
Ooh, Nick's got a nice butt.
Hey, buddy.
Your brother has a mom butt.
Yes, I mean we all do. We got it
It's
from my mom.
It's in the Lopez family, huh? Mom butt.
Yeah, I think so. My mom has a mom butt.
I gotta look at your dad's butt. I never checked his out.
I don't think he has one.
Mike's probably got a
I
nice
think that's why we
tush.
all got the mom butt,
He's got
because that was all that was left.
That construction butt. Your dad.
Yeah, the kind that like you can put all these things in his pockets because there's no butt there.
Oh yeah. Oh, you want a big measuring thing?
You got it. Room.
There's room in that butt. Those butts. Those buttocks. So, the NBA commissioner looks at Lauren and he's like, "Well, I guess things never change." And he walks off. And then Lauren smiles and he's like, "You're wrong about that. They do."
Because he's like, girl power.
Girl
That's
power.
nice.
Our boy learned something. Cut to Lauren heads to the game, right? Game's going great. The Banshees look great, but it's a close game. They're down 1, 12 seconds left, 9 seconds left. What are they going to do? Steal. Juwanna Mann gets a steal. She's heading down the court. Oh my God, she could possibly dunk this. She goes up. Juwanna does a 3-6, like a tomahawk. Boom.
Dunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crowd goes crazy. It breaks the backboard. Shatters. Glass everywhere. Last second, right? They win the game. She falls. Everyone slow motion. Like Vivica A. Fox and all her teammates are like, crowd's like, "She dunked it. She dunked it." And you hear Juwanna going, you hear Juwanna now going, "Yes. Yeah. Yeah, girl." And the whole crowd like gets quiet and all looks at her. And she's like, "Yeah. Yeah." And then the camera pans to her. Her wig fell off.
Juwanna.
That's where my friend was dying laughing on the floor.
I thought it was like her boob would fell out or something.
This was the best part because in this scene, so the gym is quiet, right? I don't know what extra did this or how many takes, why they couldn't do another take, but somebody in the audience yelled, like you hear somebody in the audience like laugh for real. So it's dead quiet and you hear a person go, "Oh Lord," like dying. Like they didn't know that Juwanna Mann was they didn't know that this was a movie.
They just showed up for the extra
was like,
spot that
"What
day, and
the
they're like,
fuck?"
"This is the plot of this movie."
Whoa,
I'm
that's
gonna go
a
see
dude.
this one.
Right? And then, so you're, oh my God. Everybody's like, oh my God. And the announcer's like, it's Jamal Jeffries. And it's completely quiet. And I love the Puff Smoke guy gets up and he's like, oh God. I love you, Juwanna Mann. I still love you. Even though I guess you a man. Does that make me a man? I don't know what I am. Juwanna Mann. Oh God. What's happening to me? He's just like crying because he doesn't know how to feel. Because, he's figuring out that he's gay.
Is that him figuring out that he's gay?
I don't know. I guess in your head it would be. In my head it's not. In my head I'd be like, in my head I'd be like, wow, I really like big women.
Yeah, because it's like I think about how there's plenty of guys that sleep with transsexual women, trans women, and they don't ever think they're gay. They're just like confronted with the fact that they're into women that used to be men.
Women that have huge penises?
Women that have huge penises.
I mean, hey. We all know that if we could construct the perfect woman, she'd have a huge penis on her.
Yeah, at all times.
That doesn't mean that you're not gay. I'm not saying that that's not the perfect idea of a woman. I'm saying that you're gay.
I don't know if that makes him gay, though.
Definitely makes him gay. He's a fag.
What?
Why do you think he's coming to terms with himself? Because he's fucking gay.
But he didn't know that she was a man until now.
He knew.
It's like he fell in love with Juwanna, not the gender
Not the
of
man.
Juwanna.
Not man. He just fell in love with Juwanna. So, oh God, that's so funny.
Michelle's upset.
Oh my God. Michelle, I can explain. Michelle! The team walks off the court.
Yo, does Vivica have her hair in that like cute ponytail she does?
Oh, with the little micro braids.
Oh, damn, Vivica.
Super hot. Super duper hot.
Yo.
Oh yeah.
Vivica is like, she's like Tyra Banks plus like
I think Vivica's
Beyonce.
Hotter. Yeah, Vivica's hotter than Tyra Banks.
She's like too,
but not as hot as Beyonce.
Yeah, that's why I said she's like she's them together. She's the best qualities of both because she's a better actress than both of those people.
She's a better actress than both of those people and probably a worse singer than Beyonce.
Yeah, I'm not willing to I'm willing to assume that Vivica could sing though.
That's what I said. I said she's a better actor than both of them. Probably just can't sing as good.
Yeah.
But for sure a better actor.
For sure. First, I mean, yes.
The only movie I want to see Beyonce in is the Beyonce documentary.
Yes.
When the Beyonce's Last Dance comes out, like her Michael Jordan
I'm
doc.
surprised they haven't made that documentary yet.
You gotta wait. It is a way more compelling documentary. I don't like when these people now they have documentaries in the middle of their career.
Yo, T Swift has had 3 documentaries.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's annoying because it's like this isn't. I need to see what actually happens at the end of this.
That's true, but it's not about the documentaries. Aren't about their whole life.
It's about selling an album.
Yeah, it's about selling an album, which I'm surprised Beyonce hasn't done.
No, Beyonce,
she did do that.
She did
that
yeah,
with
she did a documentary.
She did that with the.
I forgot which
with
one.
the album that they did together. They made a doc, didn't they?
No, I thought it was the album before that.
It was on. It was, but most of the documentary was of that tour that they did together.
I think Lemonade had a documentary.
Yeah, maybe she did. I want to see the Beyonce documentary, and it's like from the streets of Houston.
But I gotta see it when she's done and she's old.
Maybe her daughter should make it.
Yeah, exactly. Or like Jay-Z's like passed on because he's old. Like you know what I mean? Like that's when I want to see it. Yeah.
I want to see it when they're still like young enough to be like how Michael Jordan can talk on his own documentary.
Okay, that's fair. But they did wait 20 plus years to do Michael's.
Yeah, but 20 plus years, they're both. I mean, she's going to be like 50, 40. She's 10 years older than us. Not 40. She'd be like, she'd be 60. She could, she could still sing at 60.
Yeah, if they wait 20 years and then come out with a Beyonce doc, then it would be awesome.
Yeah. So work on that.
Yeah. But I don't want to see a doc on Justin Bieber now.
They've already had one.
I know, but that's why I didn't watch it because like I don't care yet. I need to see him like get old first and like see him away from it. Like I need to see him not be in the limelight.
That's true.
I don't want a documentary of someone in the limelight, like while they are still actively in the limelight.
That being said, Miss Americana, the T Swift one that I watched, was really good.
Oh God, no, it wasn't.
Yo, when she won all those Grammys, she was like, I had no one to share it with.
You told me this.
I know that really it bothers me every time I think about it.
What a loser!
All that work and no one to share her.
That's on you. You don't have friends. I don't feel bad that a person sucks.
I don't think that's what it is. I think you're just so focused on your art. Okay.
Is Dave Chappelle not focused on his art?
Yes, he is.
Is he constantly around friends?
Yeah, but he didn't like put out 7 albums in the first.
He literally just put out 7 specials.
Yeah, but not in the first 7 years of his career. You see,
So
he
hold
took
on.
time off after the Chappelle show
The
to get
first
close.
7 years of her career? Because wait, where was her period of grinding then? So she was immediately famous?
No, I guess as a child was her period of grinding.
Yeah. So they were friends in that era. What happened? Like, why can't she suck? Because when somebody says something like that, it's like we like to go, oh, they just work so hard. Or they fucking suck.
I don't think she sucked.
I think she sucks.
She seems like a nice person.
You don't believe that yourself.
I don't know anything about her.
You don't believe she's cool.
I do think she's cool.
You don't believe she's
I don't
cool.
think I'd want to date her,
Would
but
you
I
rather,
think
no,
she's
not even
fine.
date. Would you rather hang out with her or Rihanna? Just hanging for a day.
Rihanna.
Of course. Because Rihanna has friends.
It's not even that. Rihanna just seems a little bit more normal.
You know what it's
Which
like
is
to me?
weird to say.
You know what it's like to me? It's like there's a certain famous comedian, and a lot of you might know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say names, but you might know. Certain very famous comedian has no friends. There's nobody that he started with that he's friends with. He's like the most famous comic now, and he has no real friends still. And we don't personally know it's because this guy's an asshole. They like to claim that they're sad and all that shit, but they're really just an asshole.
Yeah, but I don't know if
that's why they don't have friends.
Taylor's situation. Taylor is, I think she wanted someone to share it with romantically, like a love partner.
Yeah.
Because she's like, she was friends with Lord? I don't know. They were always together.
She sounds like the person that we're talking about.
I guess she's probably like that too.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, or is it you and you just suck and you're an asshole?
I just don't like
And
you
you
talking
blame it
about
on
Taylor
you being
this
sad?
way. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I guess.
Because that's a real person.
Yeah, I know.
We know these people that are like
I
this.
know people like that. I just don't want to imagine T Swift is like that.
I think she's like that. So, cut to the locker room. The girls are pissed, obviously. It's all over the news. They're making fun of it on Leno and Letterman. Obviously. That, you know, a man has been playing in the WNBA for like half a season.
I always find that interesting how Leno and Letterman can just like we're able to drop anything to do a movie and like play themselves.
Yeah, because they only have to do it for 2 seconds when they're playing like a late night, them giving late night talk.
They probably did it on their own, like in their own studio,
Oh,
and
for
sent
sure.
in the footage.
Yeah. So, you know, you see our boy, he's in his aunt's room and he's watching the game. The girls are playing the next game and they're losing, and he's watching it under the blankets. And Aunt Ruby comes in and she's like, boy, you got yourself quite a mess here. Now sit up. He sits up. Now, it ain't no sense in crying over spilled milk. The best thing to do is start looking for a paper towel. Okay? I always thought that was actually
That's
a good
a really
line.
good line.
It's a very good line. And he's like, she hugs him. So we see the Banshees game. They're getting blown out at the half. They come into halftime. The coach is, you know, like, oh, but what are we going to do, ladies? This is not how we play. And then Vivica's like, what do you want from us, coach? We're not going to win a championship without Jamal. Doors bust open. That's not true. Our boy comes in the locker room.
As Juwanna?
As himself.
Oh, okay.
But I like that there was no, he just got in.
Yeah.
No security at WNBA games.
Nope.
You could just.
They don't have the funding for that.
No. People, the biggest problem in the WNBA locker room is them telling people where the bathroom is all the time.
Mm-hmm. And also, there's not enough people coming to the games for them to have security anyway.
You broke bitches. So, you know, he's like, we're not gonna. He's like, he comes in and they're like, yo, they're going to fuck you, get out of here, you suck, right? And the coach is like, hold on, girls, let's not get him off so easy by throwing him out. Let's hear what he has to say. All right, guys, I messed up. What I did was wrong. I was wrong. I was selfish. And then Vivica Fox gets up and just walks out. And he's like, I'm truly sorry. You know, my whole life I thought women's basketball was a joke. Turns out the joke was on me. You guys taught me the only way to truly shine is to be a part of a team. So if you want to hate me, I understand. But hate me after the game. Because you never needed me to win this. I needed you. And you see Vivica Fox, she's around the corner listening like this.
Even though she doesn't want him to know that she's touched.
She doesn't want him to know. And then he's like, go win it, girls. And they're all like looking at each other like they believe in it. And then he stops as he's about to walk out and he goes, and Letitia, your game's on tonight. Keep an eye out for Magna. She's open in the post. And then he walks out. Cut to the girls coming out and they are kicking ass. They win the game. Jamal watches them. He smiles. He leaves. Okay. Vivica Fox gets back to the locker room. The girls are all celebrating. She opens her locker. There's flowers in it. just because it's Wednesday.
Was it a Wednesday or it's just a new day?
I mean, they didn't announce what day it was, Sam.
I mean, does it mean the same if it's on a Thursday?
It doesn't mean, I think so. So, our boy, she looks at the lockers and she's like, feels all touched. Cut to our boy, Lorne. He has Jamal in front of the commissioner again, trying to get him in the back of the NBA again.
Why would they let him in the NBA after what happened?
He's telling him he's a changed man, and Lauren's like, and not only am I this guy's agent, but I'm also his friend, and I vouch for Mr. Jeffries. And the commissioner goes, well, Mr. Jeffries, you disgraced not only the men's league, but the women's league. And right then, all the Banshees come in, the team, and they're like, we disagree, Commissioner. He did not disgrace our league. He made us better. Right? And if we can forgive him, and if the WNBA can forgive him, then you should too. Jamal, we want you to have this. And they give him a little box and open it up, and there's a championship ring inside.
Aww.
And he's like, and the commissioner goes, well, I'm convinced. Cut to, you see Vivica A. Fox and Jamal look at each other, and they make out.
Just like that.
Just like that.
She doesn't have to say anything to him.
He doesn't have to go on a date. He doesn't have to like earn it.
He doesn't have to say anything like, hey, I'm sorry. And then she's like, no, don't say anything. And then she makes out with him. They straight to the makeout.
She kisses him.
Okay. Well, Vivica has always been a very forward woman.
And forgiving. Cut to a sold-out NBA game. The crowd's going crazy. And now, returning at starting guard, the only man to play in the women's and men's professional leagues, Jamal Jeffries. Freeze frame. Juwanna Mann. And then they show the blooper reel.
Oh, how good is the blooper reel?
Okay. It's really not a blooper reel. It's really just extra scenes.
Oh, are they good?
They're okay. But I mean, this movie's only like an hour and 25 minutes.
I know. It didn't take you very long to watch it.
But yeah. Isn't that the greatest?
I love that movie.
It's really good.
That's my favorite version of that kind of movie. Because we've seen this movie 100 times.
A million.
You got The Ringer. You got She's the Man.
You just described it a second ago. As another movie.
Another one where you pretend to be something.
No, we were just talking about how, and the guy, you try to apologize, and they cut the person off. And that happens in every movie when the person's about to tell the truth.
When I said that, I can't remember. There's a bunch of movies that this happened. What's the one from the 80s where it's a woman who's pretending to be a man?
$1 Million Baby.
Oh, no, that's not even.
That
didn't apply to any of the things I said. I said 80s.
She looks like a man
I said pretending to be a man. But this happens a lot of movies, and this is my favorite version.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I was watching today. Still holds up. This movie, 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. 10%. Me and Sam and her family, we just watched a movie called, what's that fucking movie called?
Leave No Trace.
Leave No Trace. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie is 90% better than that movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Leave No Trace had no plot.
When I saw that this was 10% and Leave No Trace was 100%, I was like, who the fuck is grading this?
Someone who, I think it's people who think that their percentage that they're giving is accounted towards them. Like, if you know that I think this movie is good, then you must think I'm smart, or you must think you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I have deeper meaning.
Because they have deeper thoughts. Because comedies never get good ratings on IMDb anyway. And IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Like, I don't even think like Anchorman and Tropic Thunder have great reviews, which is like, well, then what are we talking about? Then what are we even? Yeah, exactly. Well, because those movies are way better than goddamn Citizen Kane or some bullshit.
Yeah. Well, also just like better than this Leave No Trace movie we're talking about.
God, that Leave No Trace movie. But that was actually a bad movie.
That was a bad movie. That's kind of how I felt about Lady Bird too.
Lady Bird's terrible.
It's terrible. Got great ratings. But
Air Bud. How much better is that than Lady Bird?
So much better.
Yet the Rotten Tomatoes, you'd never know.
You can't trust Rotten Tomatoes. They're rotten.
No. Though I will say this, I do check Rotten Tomatoes. I don't trust it, but I check it because I just like to see where I like to see where because it's not just the Rotten Tomatoes. I like to look at the Rotten Tomatoes, then the Metacritic, and then what Google users say.
That's normally the best choice.
But the only problem with Google users is that one's always high because it's just going to be people who like that movie.
Yeah, no one's going on Google users to be like, I hate this.
I hate this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's the only problem with that is every movie is 99%. And it's like, well, I mean, I don't think Juwanna Mann's 10%, but it's not 100 either. This is us. This movie should be 65%. 60, because that's what it is. We're saying this movie's 10%, so we're saying this movie is just worth 10% of a movie.
I mean, it's just not a bad movie. Also, they made this movie 20 times. And
It
with
must be
different
good.
variations. It must be a good concept.
America must like it.
Oh, we were talking about I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. That's the other one we
That's
talked
another
about.
one. Yeah, that's this movie
kind
too.
of like this movie.
The vibes. I mean, yeah, it's like about being gay. Pretending to be gay.
Pretending to be
That's the whole
something
thing.
you're
Pretending to
not.
be something you're not. And you know what, Bean Mafia? I hope we all learned a lesson today to just be yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to dress up like a woman to play in the WNBA.
You don't have to dress up like a woman to listen to us.
You
be
can
whoever you
dress
want.
just dress up how you feel.
Or wear nothing.
Or wear nothing and listen to us. And you know what? If you do listen to us naked, send in a picture.
Please don't. Send it to Deric.
Send it to Sam. Send it to both of us. We love you. Send us all your nudes. Have a good night. Have a good night, Bean Mafia. Send nudes, please. Send nudes!